What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ghost Rider 730, and I'm rocking out with Hebot today. Hebot 8, my bro, my ex body, bro.
7:30.
Today we about to break some pony legs. We about to hurt some PS4 fanboys. Today we about to break some pony legs. You heard, bot? And today we got
Well,
a couple topics, man. So what's up, Hebot, man? What's been on your mind, man?
sí, señores. We're back with another exciting episodio of Let's Talk About It. And there's a lot of topics we got to talk about, right, Ghost? As far as what you was telling me and, what we
Yep.
talked about earlier. So hopefully,
Yes.
you guys will join us and check us out and tune in. And it should be a good one. Should be exciting. But a lot of it should be where don't say I didn't tell you so because I did tell you so a long time ago. Long time ago. So let's get
Oh
with it,
yeah.
puppy. Let's get with it. You know what I mean?
Let's get with it. First topic of the day. First and foremost, me and Hebot would like to say God bless all of you out there, and thank
Yes,
you for
sir.
stopping by and listening to what me and Hebot has to say and give our opinions on how we feel on certain topics. And first off, our first topic is going to be Jeff Gilly skips E3 because he thinks ESA is being unfair.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, Hebot, what do you think about this topic right there? Because Jeff Gilly, aka Knee Pad Gilly, is, he hosts his own awards. It's kind of a big award. And Phil Spencer came over there dropping the ding-a-ling and smacking them PlayStation ponies and all these PlayStation extremists at the award show, showing the Xbox Series X. And I think it kind of smacked Sony in the mouth. They gave him the bebo. They had all the traga leches in the crowd sick. You already
Wepa.
know. And
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and last but least, but when Phil Spencer did that was like it kind of shook up the PlayStation Nation, meaning Sony itself. So basically, Jeff Keighley right now is saying it's unfair at the ESA. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the ESA. I know what you're talking. Well, the ESA is the people. You can hear me, right, Ghost?
Oh,
First and foremost, you can hear me.
foremost, we can hear you out here.
You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Okay. First and foremost, the ESA is basically the people that handle all the all the uh, setup and organization. It's basically the ones who create and handle the stuff for E3, right?
Yeah.
The board, the committee, I guess you can call it. I forgot what the anagram is for, but I think it's for Entertainment Software Association. That's what it is. Thanks to my son, he fucking reminded me. And basically, they're the ones that make all the decisions. They're the ones who talk with all the developers. They're the ones who talk with all the the companies like Microsoft, Nintendo, all the independent scene people, Stadia now, and things like that, to basically uh, set up space and shop where they're going to be set up, what space they're going to use, at what time they're going to do certain things, when they're going to meet up with people, like that as part of the gaming media to do interviews in certain spots, like IGN and stuff.
Hello. Okay, guys, we having technical difficulties here. We lost Hebot. Well,
Wait, can you
yeah,
hear me?
right, now we can hear you. We lost you
Okay,
for a minute.
okay, I think I know what's going on. Anyway, okay. So what I was saying is they're
With
the
IGN, I know you.
yeah, yeah, they're the type of company. They're basically the association, that's set up to shop for all the companies. The social media, video game media that comes in and does interviews. They got to set up shop in different areas. Basically, to control everything, right?
Yeah.
And make space and make room and for which day is what day is what, so forth and so forth. So basically, Jeff Keighley, as we all know, he has his own part in E3 that he brings. He does his own show now. He's been doing it for the last couple of years. I think he started back in 2017 to be exact, or 20. 16, something like that. I could be wrong, but he does his own showcasing, and in his showcasing, a lot of times when he does it, you see a lot of people that he brings in, like from developers, independent scene, and a lot of times you'll notice that he'll bring in a lot of people that are like YouTube influencers that love playing the one-sided field or one-sided game with between the consoles and shit. Like he'll bring in Angry Joe, he'll bring Boogie, he even brings in that guy, the analysis. What's his name? The analysis. What's his name? There is the analysis guy with the glasses. The analysis. Michael Pachter and things like that. And then he'll show a lot of stuff and have interviews with developers about certain games. And and then he'll have like a final conversation in the end and the beginning conversation, and they talk about what they expect to see, what they want to see. And a lot of times, when he does the shows and he does the preview, you see where he throws indirect shade to Microsoft and try to just amp up and try to boost up PlayStation because he's been very vocal and open that he's a very heavy PlayStation centric guy. I mean, he's in the game of Death Stranding that Kojima just did. You know what I mean? That's how close he is with the brand, right? He also been known to do dumb things like spilling out information in the past, like the price of the Xbox One X before it was announced to kind of like kill the noise because people were
And the
like,
hype
if it's
mix,
too
right?
right, because people were like, if it's too expensive, I don't know if I'll buy it. But yet, when he knew the price of the VR for the PlayStation, and when he knew the price for the Pro for the PlayStation, he never spilled the beans. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, he's not.
He's that type of person, right? He's the one who runs the Video Game Awards show, which we all know, which
The
he
PGA
also
Award.
played. Yeah, which he
Oh,
also play right, which he also plays a role in picking the nomination guys, the people that are in the board, and a lot of them are just a lot of Sony centric sites as well, especially the ones over here in the U.S. because it's all over the world. He has like 60 different board people that come on and do things and participate and vote. And only 10% of the actual gamers get to vote, but they vote after those other people make the choices and of the nominations of games they feel should be awarded. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it seems to me, or what it seems like, he put a statement out saying that until they can bring in back the togetherness of gaming, he doesn't feel comfortable with some of the things that have been done. But last year, for some odd reason, there was some kind of mix-up where all the people that went, their information was accidentally leaked, like where they lived, addresses, and things like that. And supposedly, it was a big thing. And the ESA had to fix it up. It was an accident. And supposedly this year was like a little leak of somebody else that was going to have a boost there. So I don't know if he's trying to play off that as an excuse um, to say, well, I don't want to come to E3 this year. I'm going to skip it altogether. I'm not even doing my show because he's trying to use that as the excuse because he's scared that his stuff might get, you know, leaked out again. But I think that's what he's trying to use it as an excuse, so that he doesn't do it. Because I get the feeling based on what he said about making sure that it's inclusive with all other people, like with people to be part of it and bring the video game community back together with togetherness and stuff like that with his comment or statement, whatever it was. I'm just paraphrasing how he said it. Because the only people that really said they were opting out this year was Sony. Sony said we're not going, and I've been telling a lot of people, and because of a situation of them skipping last year, skipping Gamescom, skipping Paris Games Week, not doing PlayStation experience for 2 years straight now, not showing any information about PS5, not even making the announcement of the reveal soon of PS5, and then now saying now in their biggest momentous moment in their history, because they're coming off of the one of the most successful console generations they ever had since PS2, right? And PS1. respectively, going into the new generation, and they're skipping E3 altogether when that's the biggest playing field and biggest showcasing for video games as a whole. You know, as we all said before in the
Yeah, it
past,
is.
it's almost like the Super Bowl of gaming. And many people take the day off, they tune in, they view, and things like that. And so Sony's like, well, we're not going. And a lot of it, I keep telling people, and I've been saying this for a while, is because their financials are not right. They're putting all their resources and money into the development, which is the R&D of PlayStation 5. Plus, they had to make sure that they try to make a big, bold move to counteract or counter react with what Microsoft has been doing, buying these developers, like they did with Ninja Theory, and they did with what's his name, the ones doing Psychonauts, Double Fine, and Obsidian and things like that. But the difference is they didn't need to buy studios because they have studios. You know what I mean? They have Santa Monica, they have Polyphony, they have the ones that make the MLB, they have Studio Japan, they have Sucker Punch, they have the ones that do the Uncharted and Last of Us, which is Naughty Dog. They have studios. Microsoft is still lacking in studios that they own. So Microsoft almost has a urgency to have more studios, especially now that they're having so much success with Game Pass. Because in order to feed Game Pass, you need studios to make games to have on the service. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's being the biggest difference. So I've been telling people that more than likely is because they don't have the money. E3 is very expensive, and to rent out a space, unlike Microsoft, that they own and they have partnerships with their own space and in their own location right across the street where they host their own show. That's why they moved out of it to save money, and they could take as long as they want and present it as the whichever way they want in their own building, right? So that is the biggest difference. It's almost like when Sony goes, okay, we're going to put our keynote of E3 on all these movie studios around the world, on all these theaters, because they have deals with these theaters because they're also a movie studio company. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they didn't even announce that they're doing that at all either. So, even if they do like an unveiling for PS5.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at what Keely's saying. He said, I'm going to be in other ventures and do other events. I'll be at Gamescom. Like if Gamescom is actually bigger than E3 when it's not, you know what I mean? It's bigger for the public because more public, the whole entire public is allowed. It's not like E3 that it's less people. They let the public in, but it's a certain amount of people. The Gamescom in Germany, they let anybody in. That's why their numbers be in the 300,000 and shit, because it's for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really their only show that they have over there completely, like during the course of the whole year. It's not like the States that they have all types of different shows like PAX
Yeah.
and things like that, So, or San Diego Comic Con or things like that, that you can kind of squeeze in video game stuff in those shows. So that's the difference. So basically, and plus E3, the tickets are expensive. And another thing is the ESA caught on people like 100 did a video on it. Shout outs to him that they would get tickets, then act like they didn't have it, they needed more, and they were basically giving it to their friends so they can get in for free. And they're losing a lot of money because the tickets are like $300 a pop or 200 and something. So they're trying to cut down on that. So with the remarks that he was saying, it almost gave like the gives off the feeling that he wants E3 to go back to being only for the media that is certified, meaning that has a college degree in journalism and they doing gaming journalism with publications like IGN and Game Report and Eurogamer. You know what I'm saying?
I I feel
So
like this, Levi. I don't mean to cut you off. I feel like
no.
his Jeff him not showing up to E3 is like, to me, like, that's stupid. Like you're not showing up to E3, I think, because Sony ain't gonna be there. What about the other platforms?
Well, I
What
mean,
about
he's been going for 27 years, but last year when Sony made the announcement was already late. He already had everything set up, so he couldn't say I'm not going. This year, Sony announced that they're not going early. They did
Yeah,
that shit last month,
but
so he before he had anything booked, he was able to say, okay, then what I'm gonna do is, I'm not going this year. It almost feels like
that's
he's trying. Go ahead,
exactly
go ahead.
if you a guy out there that's quote unquote got the VGA awards and you supposed to be this guy, ain't you supposed to be like unbiased to like other
Yeah, he's a journalist. He's supposed to be
journalists? But it
about the
seems like
event.
it's just straight PlayStation. If you notice,
Well,
why are you not? If you're a journalist, why are you not going to those big events?
well, he's supposed to be about the event.
That
Period. The gaming celebration of
that
E3.
shows you where
But
they
it's
stand at.
he's coming off like because he says I'll be at other venues. So, for example, if they do a PlayStation unveiling, right? Let's say next month, right? And let's say he's there and he hosts that event, or let's say he hosts his own event for the PlayStation event, unveiling, and he has something to do with it. That will definitely cement that he only did what he did about bailing out on E3, not because he's also a competitor because he does the VGA shows, because the VGA shows all the way in December. That doesn't affect this show in any way, shape, or form. So I think that's bullshit for the people that try to say that that's the reason why. Oh, I'm not going to help them out because they're my competitors. No, because that doesn't reflect on the show he does in any way, shape, or form. Okay,
Yeah,
so if he does something with the Sony unveiling, anything, whether he runs the show or whether he hosts it for them, that cements 100,000 million% that he only bailed out of E3 because he wants it to shine only on Sony. And because Sony's not there and they already made that announcement, he's going to make sure that he pushes his brand because he just wants people to pay attention to the Sony plan and the Sony platform,
yeah,
which completely will contradict what he made in the statement about bringing the gaming community and in the event together as a whole. You see what I'm trying to say?
you gotta understand this. When you a fanboy, you a fanboy. He's a fanboy. You can see it
Right.
clearly.
Well, he's
Xbox
been
games
open
they
about
came
it.
out good throughout the year. If you look at the awards, look at what games came out for Xbox in the beginning, like Titanfall and all these other games, and then again, PlayStation didn't have really nothing in their beginning. You know what I mean? And look at who was winning the awards.
Right,
All the
right.
indie games that they had. People got to look at that. That's where you see where yo, how did these games win
Will you
this?
let me use your phone real quick?
You like Xbox ain't got no chance out of all these years. They came out 2000 what 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Think about it. None of the games really winning awards. And PlayStation didn't really have too much until the later to the end of the generation where they started getting it. Like I keep saying, they're real good exclusives. You understand?
Right, Ghost, I'm here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute so that my noise in my house
That's
doesn't
all right, bro.
drown your
Nah, it's
audio.
okay.
Okay,
No, I'm
I'm
all
just
right.
letting you know.
I just had to say that piece, bro. And I was gonna tell you, like, that's just my honest opinion on it. Like, for me, I've been since we've been doing this ebot for a while, and we've been seeing the biasism. People thinks we hating when we be saying the truth. When we do say the truth, like always.
Right,
But
right.
if you're
But
a big fan of
we've been trying
get the
to say
praises,
the truth
yes,
based on historical facts that's happened in the past with other companies, especially with that I've been there personally experienced through the years, and so have others in the community. But that they try to play the kumbaya shit, like, oh no, it's not a conspiracy. That's just your mind. You're just being a corporate slave. But yet, a lot of the things that I've said, you following me since the beginning, you've seen it that like 90% of the things I've said, 95 have came out to be the way I said it. You see what I'm saying? When I
yeah,
was called a liar or a corporate slave. But go
yeah.
ahead.
Especially on Twitter, you get attacked a lot. They try to make fun of you on Twitter and everything. But though the bigger channels, remember this, they're gonna get the praises like they was the ones that said it. That's the thing that makes me laugh. Like when doing this
Right,
YouTube,
right, right.
like a lot of times a little smaller channels say the truth, and we get overshadowed by bigger channels. You understand? And they get the praise.
Right, right, right.
Really, really, a lot of us was toting that, pushing that. Nah, nah, nah. That's just like when Jay Long said the Japanese handouts. Come to find out,
Yeah.
there were Japanese handouts. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
want to give
Mm-hmm.
props to anybody.
Right.
Just
Right.
like I've been saying, they could check my channel that PlayStation way before this was gonna do the same thing that happened before he bought. The same thing with the games. They're gonna move these games just like they did with PlayStation 3 games with The Last of Us. They're gonna do the same exact thing, probably remaster it or forward push it because they don't have their exclusives. They laugh at Microsoft saying, "Oh, Microsoft got a year to 2 years of exclusives to their console, but PlayStation neither."
Right.
Like that's
Right.
kill me. Like you cannot laugh at one company, and your company's doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like that's the thing that bugs me out. Like what's going on here?
Right.
Why is the
Right.
narrative always Microsoft? Microsoft go 1 to 2, 3 2 to 3 years. They ain't even say 3 years. They just saying 1 to 2 years. You know, this if they coming out with exclusive or whatever it is, it's coming out to the X, the S. You know what I mean? And that's not
Well,
stopping the power of the Series X. The Series X will get the more better version,
but Ghost
hands
in the
down. Like I
360
don't
era,
understand that.
Ghost in the 360 era. Okay,
Yeah,
these people act like they've been under a rock or they've been blinded until this generation. And me and my son were talking about that today earlier.
what's up, Jay
The
Dizzle?
three, the 360 era. You remember that they made ports of Gun, of Peter Jackson's King Kong game. A
I remember.
lot of those games were OG Xbox and PS2 games. And yet you got a 360 version of those games in the first beginning couple of years of the 360 life cycle. But the reason why that happens is because you're never going to have enough software that could be dedicated for that one console when you do a new console launch that's only dedicated with the hardware specifications right from the beginning. Because one, it's too expensive now since the 360 era moving forward. It's
Yeah,
gotten more expensive because games are expensive. The game sales have dropped because now we're in the digital era, so they don't sell well as much as they used to physically. And there's a lot of other venues to reach out and get these games, even without ownership, like these services, right? Like PSN now, Game Pass.
yeah.
So the playing field is too broad, wide, and open now. So you can't just rely on the old traditional sales. So they have to make sure that there's something to give to these people when they migrate over from the last generation consoles to the new ones. And how do they do that? Okay, we're going to give you the same game that was on the 360 or the OG on 360, but we're going to give you better graphics, better frame rate, better resolution. That same adoption and mentality happened to the Xbox One. And it happened also with PS4. But we still got games that only were dedicated for Xbox One, like Killer Instincts, like Crimson Dragon, like Rise Son of Rome, like the Dead Rising 3, because the 360 just was not capable of running those games in the same quality. Now, granted, we did on like Ghost Cycle that was on 360. Smaller
You
titles,
buying?
but
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, you buying? Buy. Uh, hello.
okay,
Nah, but I can't.
let me know.
I can't hear you. You you buying? He buy. I can't hear you at all. Well, he buy since you bought it and we can't hear you. All right, my boy should be back real soon. Let me see. Add to the stream.
What about now? Am I
Uh,
still botting?
nah, you sound better. Way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like I was
I
telling you,
know
this
you
is
were saying
something that
something
just
good.
huh?
No, you were saying something
This
good.
is
It's that when you bought it, I'm like, oh man, you were saying stuff good, man.
well, this is something designed for all generations. They have to do that in order to keep having some type of games for the people that migrate to the new console. And that's what we said the Xbox One was exclusive for the first 2 years
You
or
buy,
so.
you
And
buy.
and buy
Yeah, you buy it.
fine.
Dang, we can't hear you. Yeah, Bob, we can't hear you. But guys out there, whoever's watching and listening in, we having a little technical difficulties, but it's all good. My boy, he
What
bought.
about now, Ghost? What about
Yeah,
now, Ghost? What
nah,
about
okay.
now?
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So what I was trying to say is that in every generation, once it starts, especially from the 360 moving forward, right?
yeah,
Um, you have to do ports because they you have to give enough content for the people that migrate to the new consoles, and you're not going to have enough new titles right from the very launch and right from the hip. That's almost impossible now. The last time you saw a big jump like that was with Dreamcast, where they had like 20 titles right at launch or 18, and there were all
that's
types
a
of
lot of
different
titles.
titles. There was all types of titles and quality titles. But now, since the games are much more expensive, that's why when the PS4 started and the 360 and the Xbox One generation started, that's why we saw a whole shitload of indie games like Super Time Force. That was an indie game that was exclusive for like 2 years on the Xbox One, and a lot of people didn't even buy it until they saw it on PS4. Same thing with Mobile Suit Strike Command. That was another one. You saw things like Max Curse of the Brotherhood, but that was a company and a studio that Microsoft used to own. They were called Press Play or something else. Then Microsoft sold them, gave them the rights to the IP. Then they reopened as a different company called Press Play, I think, or something like that. And then that's when they were able to release the game on the Switch and the PS4 because Microsoft let them keep the IP of Max. But they used to own that studio for like 5 years, I think it was.
Mm.
To give you an example, right? A lot of people don't know that because they don't know their shit. They just talk out their ass. So
Microsoft
anyway,
basically let them go. But Max and the
right?
Brotherhood, I know you played the Ebot. It was
Oh
I
yeah,
see
yeah,
my wife
yeah.
playing it.
That
My
game
wife
was
played it.
that game was
But, you know,
awesome.
and
It's
look,
still one of the
PlayStation dude said it was trash, and then they got excited. Oh, that's another thing. They got excited for that game anyway when they went over there.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if they supported it. I don't think that it
I
really
think they
sold
did.
on PS4.
It didn't. I
I'm
don't know
not
if it
really.
sold
I
as
don't think it
much.
sold, but
Yeah,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I heard. I saw the rhetoric. Right. It's like when Ori went to Switch. Everybody was an
yep,
Ori fan all of a sudden.
yep.
Oh my god,
Why is he? But you
Ori!
know what? You know what he but. Speaking of that, right? Before we get into the next topic, speaking
Right.
of that, why is it Ori, when Cuphead went to Nintendo because
Yeah.
Microsoft
Switch.
actually, yeah, the Switch, but
Mm-hmm,
Microsoft
mm-hmm.
actually let them do it so they can make more money to help those developers. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes. Because
Because
they
it
don't
wasn't
own Moon
own it
Studio. They
exactly.
own the
Why
Ori
is
IP,
it?
but not Moon Studio.
You did
Mm-hmm,
you see the YouTubers out there that was bashing these games, and then when they got it
mm-hmm,
on Nintendo, they was like, "Oh my!" They was going crazy saying that even
mm-hmm,
Super
mm-hmm.
Lucky Tales, bro. They even said
or
that game
or
was
they would
dope.
say shit like, the only games worth buying on Xbox is Ori and Cuphead, but I'm not gonna buy an Xbox. I'll just wait for it on Nintendo. They would say
Oh
shit like that.
yeah, yo, but he about the only thing that bugs me out is how are they excited? They were so excited when those games came
hmm
to that platform, and it's like, dag,
Dude,
when it
Ori's
was
still
on
number
Xbox,
one
it was
on the
trash. It
top
was dated.
paid.
That's
Or
crazy.
I mean, no, Cuphead is still number one top paid on the Nintendo store.
Let me tell you one thing though. Even though it went to Nintendo and everything, and everybody bashes these games that Microsoft had, like, oh my god, why they got God of War and they got all of this, where you can't even compare those games. But when you look at Cuphead, there is no game matching like comparing to that game. That game looked like a real cartoon. a
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day cartoon.
Take a
Like,
picture of this and it's to my
yeah,
phone.
yo, bot. That was one of the best fucking looking games. You could say they looked like a cartoon in Cartoon Network, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It took them 5 years, I think, to
Yeah,
really,
think
because they
about
were
that, bro.
cartoonists
But
to actually finalize the game.
PlayStation
They-
ain't had that shit. They ain't got
no,
nothing that
no,
look
no,
like that
no.
on
None of
PlayStation.
their games look that impressive.
You know,
No, no,
besides their story mode, God of War, they ain't got nothing like that.
no. We're talking
They
about the
ain't got
indies.
nothing
We're
that
talking
look
about
like
right.
Ori in the Blind Forest,
That's
bro.
as unique looking and different as,
Yeah, like they ain't got. When you
or
look
even
at the
Cuphead.
games,
Right, right.
like,
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna even throw this in here, and before we get into the next topic, like if you look at the next one, Sea of Thieves, they might say Sea of Thieves, Sea of that, and it might not be
Mm-hmm.
my cup of tea, but you got to play it when Hunter gets drunk in real life, gets drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know there's a fan base that plays that game? And I
Yeah,
guarantee
it's
you,
a
if that
million
game would have
people.
went to PlayStation, they would
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
playing that game. Or let's just say if the shoe was on the other foot. They might
Right.
laugh
Mm-hmm.
at Sea of Thieves, but if PlayStation made Sea of Thieves, I bet you they would have been throwing that in our face.
Dude, they're touting fucking Dreams right now. Uh, Dude, they gave Dreams a 9.5
That game is trash.
in Metacritic. And all it is a wannabe Minecraft, a wannabe Project Sparks.
Yeah.
But yet they want to
Got
make
no
fun of
life.
they want to make fun of fucking Sea of Thieves. When Sea of Thieves has upgraded and evolved so much that it even has a story mode where you can play co-op now with your friends as well. It's no longer just competing with getting treasures and trying to play be safe without getting sunken by either the skeletons and the creatures in the world or by oncoming other people that randomly play the game because this is randomly generated. Every time you play, you could encounter a whole bunch of different people trying to sink your shit to take your fucking gold and take your food and all that shit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To survive. Because that's how the game is. It's about surviving in the deep sea. It's very fun. It's a fun game. Playing it by yourself, maybe not so much, but with your friends, absolutely, it's a lot of fun.
Another thing, I'm not toting no sales or nothing like that, but freaking you can disrespect the game. Let's just say the zombie game. You can
Mhm.
disrespect that game that we got on Microsoft. What is it again? It's called tag. What's our game we have?
Which one?
What was the game that we got that if you die you can't come back? Makes it realistic. The zombie game
State
we
of
got.
Decay.
State of
State of
Decay,
Decay.
right? Didn't it
Hmm.
at least for 1 week or son State of Decay outsold God of War? Like beat God of War, I think. I forgot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
And
But
look at that.
State of Decay got like 8 million players right now.
I mean, when you really think about it, look at the game, that game alone. How it only did that one time, but it defeated the greatest game you could say on PlayStation, besides The Last of Us 2, for that one
Hmm.
week or whatever it was. Like,
Hmm.
they disrespect Microsoft always cartoony games, but they play Fortnite, they play Dreams, they play a lot of these indie games that look like cartoony out the ass. Like, they only throw God of War. If you notice, they're gonna throw God of War, Spider Man. You know what I mean? The Last of Us, they ain't even here yet. They're gonna mention these games. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima is not here yet.
Well, Last of Us has
You know what I
been
mean?
mentioned. Last of Us has been mentioned since they've said that it was coming. Since they
Like,
showed that little trailer of her playing the guitar,
yeah,
you've heard about Last of Us every fucking day. Oh my God, The
exactly.
Last of Us, The Last of Us. Has been like 4 E3s.
Dumb PlayStation fanboys and extremists
That
out
shit,
there, and YouTubers. I'm
they're
saying on
literally gonna get the game.
Ledges, nigga.
They're literally getting the game at the end of the generation of PS4, like they did at the end of the generation of PS3. That's
Those
literally what they're
watching,
doing.
why don't y'all hit that like button and definitely share this video out so we can get more people in here, because I'm telling you it's gonna get good. Hebot, second topic. Nintendo confirms that they're gonna be committed to E3, my brother. They
Yeah.
get
Yes,
committed to
sir.
E3. Nintendo, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But Hebot, I'm gonna tell you my input on it. Nintendo is going to E3. They're gonna be committed. Why ain't Sony showing up there? I'm gonna tell you why.
I really liked it.
Because Nintendo is at least saying, you know what, we going for our fan base. We going for those gamers out there.
Mm-hmm.
They want to have a present at E3. E3 is big. E3 is something. This is where they
Mm-hmm.
can show off games. Or let's
Mm-hmm.
just say if they had a new console like Microsoft, they can
Right.
show it off. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And for us out there, the consumers, and for the people that's down to earth, real people out there that go out to these gaming events to actually witness these games and meet these people, that's something dope. And that's
Hmm.
dope for
Hmm.
developers to get to meet people that buy their product. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
And actually have fun with meeting people that enjoy their creation on games.
Right.
That's why I say that's something dope. It's not that PlayStation's bigger than E3. Like, I know why, and this is my opinion that I feel. I feel like PlayStation doesn't really have the money like that, the funds. Because what are they gonna show? They don't have nothing to show. It's been like a year to 2 years ago that they busted load when they showed the
It's pretty.
Days Gone, when they showed Ghost of Tsushima, when they showed The Last of Us 2, and a lot of indie games. Those games, brother, if you don't, if y'all go down a little memory lane a couple of years ago, they didn't really have nothing to show. So
Hmm.
coming
Look,
into
they,
to PlayStation 5, what are they gonna show? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, this gotta stop with the hypocrisy and all this hating on Microsoft. Microsoft showed us games. Yeah, they not God of War level or nothing, but they still games. To say Microsoft doesn't have games, you are foolish. You need to fucking put your head in the toilet bowl and flush it. You know what I mean? Like, that is stupid. That is a stupid saying. And what's crazy is at the end of the day, we getting games. PlayStation ain't looking like they getting games, bro. It's gonna be a
hmm.
while. They still waiting on The Last of Us. They still waiting on Ghost of Tsushima. I think those
Hmm.
dates got pushed back. And like I said before, I feel that this is gonna be their strategy. They're gonna make believe if the game come out just to get people to jump on the PlayStation 5. You understand me? And I feel that they making a big mistake skipping E3. You need
Hmm.
to show up.
Well,
It's
I
not
mean,
that
like,
they bigger than E3. You understand? They need to show
yeah,
up.
yeah.
And this is why I said,
Well,
how can Microsoft take an L for last year when they showed up, even if it ain't the games that you liked or anybody out there liked? You understand? Sony didn't show up. So for one, they got an L.
you ever seen him in that movie?
For two, Microsoft showed up for the fan base and to show off what they at least have and show games that they're gonna try to give us. What Battletoads? Battletoads. If you look at the old school Battletoads, it's not the same. Yeah, it looks cartoony, but look at the old school way of Battletoads compared to now. It's a little
Hmm.
cartoony. Yeah, I wish they would have made it like Rash and made it like it looked like a
And
different
Killer Instincts.
like Killer Instincts, but at the end of the day, like at least it's a game we getting. Because if PlayStation had that game, they would be playing the shit out that shit. They'll be
Right,
saying, "Look, we got a Battletoads game." At least
right.
Microsoft
Well, I
made it
mean,
might be cartoon.
Ghost.
Yeah,
Not to interrupt you,
do
Ghost.
your thing, bro. I want
Resogun was the talk of the town for PlayStation fans for almost a whole year, money. Resogun,
pew, 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 pew.
the one that goes around in 360 or 80 degrees
Yeah,
and shoot. You go up and down. That shooter, which was an indie game, was the talk of the town, and they kept touting how great it was, how much fun for almost over a year. Okay,
yeah.
so that just tells you the level of I don't even want to say stupidity, but of how much ignorance.
I got more respect for Nintendo than Sony, bro.
Well, look, the reason
That's
why,
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
the reason why Sony is not going to E3 is because of cost. They're making it seem like it's all because we're gonna do other venues that are more favorable to us. Of course, it is favorable to your pocket because they don't have to shell out as much and still do something else because there are other mediums now where you can reach your audience. Yes, on YouTube, on Twitch, on I don't know wherever else you can reach people, right?
Yeah,
But it's not the same because when you're at E3, it's more one-on-one, personal with the fan base. People get to try out your games on your new console, the demos. They get to talk to the developers. You can interact with them, your fan base one-on-one. It's a more personal experience, okay? And that's what has always made it very special and a very special venue. And if people stop for a minute and think back to when Nintendo, right, decided to do the Nintendo Treehouse, right, which is
yeah,
basically a half an hour video or 45 minutes showing all their stuff that they would show in a keynote live on the E3 showroom floor. The reason why they did that was because they almost went bankrupt with the Wii, and people keep forgetting that the Wii sold 100 and I think 27 million units worldwide after in its life cycle, but the software wasn't selling. So even though the console sold, remember the console was only $200, they were losing money. And then the DS Lite was hemorrhaging money for them because they put all that investment in the technology and it wasn't selling. Then they did the 3DS. It wasn't selling because people were complaining, oh, that even though you can't use glasses, it's messing my eyes up. They had to go back to the 2D format and change it. You understand what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
lost a lot of money. So they had to readjust because then the Wii came out, the Wii U rather. The Wii U, they did everything they possibly could to make it better than the Wii, even let you bring over your games and play backwards compat every game right with the disc, and you still didn't sell enough consoles. The Wii U sold lifetime 15 million units lifetime. Okay, so
Wow.
they lost a lot of money. So they had to hedge their bets on their next new upcoming console, and they went this route of making it a hybrid of portable and home console. And it worked in their favor because now it's working as not only their portable, but as their console for the house. And not only did the adults migrate to it and the fan base, the hardcore, but also the little kids that play those portables. You understand?
Yeah.
And because you're playing games like, let's say like a Witcher, even though it looks like trash and plays like trash at a fucking low ass frame rate, but because of nostalgia feeling, oh, but I can still play it on the road, people are gravitating to it. You understand? And
Yeah.
that is why it's doing better for them, selling for them. So now that they're getting success and that is selling rapidly and so fast, which believe me, it will come to a plateau. It will slow down. Maybe not this year, but I bet you by next year it's going to start slowing down. And they already said they're not making a pro. So the reason why they're saying yes, we're committed to E3 is because they know now that they have money, so they're going to keep on feeding their audience. Because remember, shout outs to 100. He said last year when you went to the lines to play Pokemon and to play Luigi's Mansion 3, that those lines were like 3 or 2 hours long, like the way they are when you go to a fun park in Great Adventures. Okay, which that's crazy because Nintendo's the only company I know that can make one exclusive a year, and people will act like they're the greatest company in the world. They get away with murder, my dude. Okay, because their fan base are just so blinded by their brand that they believe in anything. They don't even see how anti-consumer they really are because they are very anti-consumer. But the games they do are always good because they've been doing the same type of games for over 40 years. So when you do something that long, you're not going to be able to fuck it up because you're too good at it. You mastered the art of your craft. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why their games always feel the same. They feel quality, they feel good, even though they cater more to younger audiences. The Zeldas, the Marios. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Their biggest is Mario and Zelda, bro.
And even their Metroids, and they haven't made one in like 2 years. So
If they
that
make
I
that
don't,
for Satisfy,
they're making supposedly a new one, but they already pushed that back to restart it from scratch. So they're going this year because they have to make sure they keep that audience that's on the Switch aware and happy. They're not going to disrespect their fan base. They're going to be there because they want their fans to have something to look forward to in the biggest event in gaming. Okay. And now that they have the money coming in, they're going to make sure they invest it in a positive way to keep the same flow and idea and success, keep it rolling. ¿Tú entiendes?
yeah,
With the Switch being popular right now the way it is. So that's the reason why they're going. And they also respect the industry, dude. They do. Reggie Fils-Aimé was always very active with E3. He always did all types of stuff. These guys respect gaming. They always have. And when they went and did their video, the way they did it through video format, I'm pretty sure that it was a hard decision for them because it wasn't easy. But they had no choice because they had to reconstruct their company and their finances. ¿Entiende? Which is what Sony's doing now.
yeah,
Okay? They're reconstructing their finances. Because if they don't, they're not. There's not going to be a Sony left. You understand?
I
So
mean, but speaking of that, like you just said that, I remember a long time ago where, and this is I'm going back to even when Blacky Lebowski was talking. And Blacky Lebowski would always bring it up and be like, and all of us, Wolf and everybody, we used to all talk about, and we used to always bring it up, like Sony not making sales and stuff like that, like financially they doing bad, and people used to laugh at us, nah. And yo, look, it really unfolded towards right now. I know that's another topic. I don't want to touch on it, but what I'm just saying right now is like, Sam, since back then, like 2013, 14, we've been saying this a long time ago, and people people now seeing that it's true. Like they are financially hurting. And shout outs to Blacky Lebowski. That's a while ago. Lebowski don't even do videos no more. But
yeah.
Lebowski was
Robowski,
on it. He was on it. He
he
used
went
to make
on.
fun
Yeah,
of
he went on hiatus because I think he was taking the bar to become a lawyer or something
yeah,
like
I
that.
remember that. He
That's what
used
he
to
was
do
doing.
dirt bike videos and all that. I liked watching his videos.
Hmm.
And you know,
So anyway,
Lebowski used to call them ass pirates, you know?
hmm hmm
Need to be tight. But shout out to Riz Biz. He said got to see what they're going to do from this point, meaning Sony. But yeah,
right. Look, what people gotta understand, if you're a real Sony fan, okay, and I'm not. This is no bullshit. This is a sincere thought from me as a gamer, right?
mhm,
That's been in the industry supporting it for so many years. If you're a real Sony fan, you're supposed to be really disappointed that they're not going because now you don't have nothing to look forward to in a broader spectrum. You see
exactly.
what I'm saying? Like in a broader spectrum, you're not going to be able to look forward to playing the console on the showroom floor before it comes out, playing the games on the console before they come out, being able to talk to developers or see what the developers explain about the games that are being made for the next consoles. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Sharing that experience with the fan base of the community of PlayStation on the showroom floor, right? Making these connections and these moments, right?
Yeah,
You're not going to be able to look forward to because when they do an unveil, it's going to be maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes because it's not the same thing. You can't do a 2-hour unveil because you got to put in filler. They're probably going to show a couple of behind the scene trailers and maybe a little spectrum of gameplay with certain games of how they're going to run, how it's going to load up, what's going to look like, what they're aiming for, the pricing, and what kind of specs it has. Okay, and that's going to be it. But it's going to be more. It's going to be something more political. Call your godfather and tell him I'm on the podcast, and I'll call him back. That is, it's going to be more like political. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Not political, more privatized, like for the media only. It's not going to feel like it's more for the fan. You understand?
yeah.
So me being a PlayStation fan, right, a hardcore, like the way I am with Xbox or the way I am with the way I am with Sega stuff and my figures and obviously with Microsoft and Xbox, I would be disappointed. I would be mad. I would be sad, and I would be curious why they're not going. They're saying they don't need the venue, but this is tradition. And I know that people think, oh, V3 is a relic. No, it really isn't because if that's a relic, then the Super Bowl is a relic. Then the Olympics is a relic. You get what I'm trying to say? Then the marathons that what's his name? Huey Lewis used to do for people with muscular dystrophy. That's a relic. It's called tradition for a reason, and it's called an event for a reason. It's exciting, and yes, I know a lot of things get leaked out. I get it. But that's why you see that Microsoft now and a lot of these companies are keeping shut and they're not even talking to people. Okay? They're even doing things that if you let anything out, you're going to get fired internally. If anything gets out, they got their eyes watching because they don't want you to leak out the big surprises and spoil them. Okay? That's why they're taking different measures. because that's the whole point of it. Okay, so Nintendo going is, I applaud them, I salute them, because it just proves to all these dumb donkeys that try to say, oh, uh, we're not going, or E3's dying, that they're wrong. Because Nintendo is one of the big dogs, and they said we're going to be dedicated to E3, which proves that they have the respect for the venue and the event, which proves that they love traditional things like E3. Because it's funny, because everybody says, oh, Nintendo is always about the traditional gaming atmosphere and style, but that's not a relic. But E3 and the way they do things, that's a relic. You see what I'm saying? You see where the hypocrisy plays in? And that's why I call them donkeys and Nintendo drones, because they're liars. Because if it's okay to play games on the Switch looking 450p at 15 frames per second like The Witcher, but when you were playing at 720p on the Xbox One X, because you paid $300 or $400, even though the Switch is $350, right? Oh, that's not acceptable. No, that's not acceptable. You can't.
That's the agenda of the fanboys on the other
See what I'm saying?
Yep, that's how it was, man.
So now that you went into that other topic, the third topic about Sony, about Sony admitting that the console sales have done nothing.
I'm gonna say it like this. For y'all out there, here it goes. Shout outs to Jay Dizzle. He did put this. He said they don't want to go to E3 because of attendance. BS. They running scared. I do agree with that. Check this out, Jay Dizzle and everybody listening in right now. Let me tell y'all, man. Let me know down in the comment section how you feel, because right now me and Hebot's gonna give our opinion on it. But Kenshiro Yoshida himself confirms that the PS4 console sales did not make the money. It was the software sales and services.
Yes.
Wow. Hold up. Are you telling me at the one that got demoted to indies is handing out L's to all these YouTubers out there on the PlayStation fanboys, extremists, and Twitter? And he's out there talking about, oh man, 100 consoles sold. What did the Xbox sell? And their own leader is basically telling them, we didn't make shit, basically. We made money off the services. And yo, but I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to give you a shout out. My brother, once again, he was right. I'm gonna give you props, bro. Like with us talking and Hunted and everybody, a lot of us out there in the Xbox community that we mess with each other. We talk when we get a chance. We exchange numbers like friends do. I gotta give you props, man. You said a lot about sales, man. Like it doesn't go by the consoles, and they called you, oh, you bugging, you going crazy, Hebot. You wilding out. You just a fanboy.
You sound stupid.
Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy. Like these dudes, we notice we don't get no recognition for this. Other YouTubers get it. But when we right, bro, we right. And it's like, yo, bro, I give you props.
But we've been right, but we not only been right. We have not only been right. We've also said things first than many of the other podcasts.
Exactly.
Way before them. Okay? Way before them.
A bigger fan base and everybody.
And nobody realized that. They haven't been paying attention, because a lot of people just go to the ones with the big views and subscribers because they think they know everything. And they don't really know anything. They just repeat articles and rebuttal articles.
That's what makes me, but it's like a lot of times we call a lot of different things.
Right.
It comes out true. And for our real fans, know this, the people, our subscribers that listen, it's just the donkey asses out there. Excuse my French, the other YouTubers that hate and shit like that and talk smack. But yo, bro, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, my opinion, bro, like, there's a lot of L's handed out with this. I just don't want to really put.
Well, that announcement today, okay, by Kenshiro, right? That announcement. First of all, not that I'm correcting you. Nah. But I am correcting you because you're my boy and I can't allow you to be looking like you don't know what you're talking about. That Kenshiro Yoshida is not Yoshida, the one that got demoted. No.
Okay.
That's actually the head that runs like all the business aspects of Sony themselves, right? Not the gaming division.
So he's running everything.
What Kenshiro was saying what Kenshiro said was what I've been saying for years, right?
Yep.
That console sales and other people as well, like my boy Dorian, he said it before, E-Rock, because we know this because we've seen it with other consoles before. Like we saw the Wii, for example. We sold a whole shitload of stuff, but because they didn't sell software, it was losing money and it was dying out. They weren't making enough money, right?
Yeah.
And I guess people think because the PS4 was 400 and not 200 compared to the Wii, that they were making money. But they said it from the very beginning, they were only making $18 per console.
And Microsoft was making a little
Right?
more.
No, Microsoft was making less. They were making like 13.
They
Right?
were. I thought it was. I thought it was making
No, it was less
the
because
20.
they put more technology. Remember,
Oh,
they put more technology on the console than the Sony did with the Connect and all that. So they were making like $11 per console. It was even less. But Microsoft could take that type of hit and readjust because they got money, right?
yeah.
So anyway, to get to your point that you just brought up on the topic number 3, this just shut down the entire narrative of the entire generation when they didn't have nothing else to argue about. Whether
Yeah.
there was no more resolution talk, there was no more frame rate talk, there was no more exclusive talk, there was no more you don't have studios talk. They have shut down every single point that was brought up this generation where we said that's not what it is. That's not what it is.
The media,
Okay?
GameStops, all
There's
that.
the media, GameStop not pushing the brand because they have incentive, Microsoft listening to people that really didn't care about the brand instead of listening to the people that actually cared about the brand because they want to make everybody happy, and instead they took a lot of features that made Xbox One unique, revolutionary, and different, and in my opinion made it go backwards because that snap feature was awesome. Connect features of being able to stream right there from the jump is awesome. And you know, things like the green screen where they were updating with Upload Studio, they stopped supporting that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of awesome features that coincide with all the things we're doing this generation, like streaming, like making content for our channel, all that connected this generation with the console's capabilities were taken away. Okay, and then most of the time it was done because they listened to the donkeys that just were trolls and didn't care.
Yes.
Oh, we don't need that. That's
I
corny.
agree.
Make the UI faster. Changing the UI like 100 million times when the first UI, once it was polished up, was perfect. There was nothing wrong with it. Oh, the UI is not quick enough. Fuck that UI not being quick enough. Who cares? That's bullshit. As long as it works, that's all that matters.
I love the Connect because you can watch sports and play the game.
Right, of course.
They hated on that. I said it.
So-
And I was one of the first ones he about to say that.
Because
That-
they try to say, oh, the Connect is just for games. That's a gimmick. That's a gimmick. It's not just for games. It was used as a tool for the whole immersion and experience of what the console was trying to do. When you tell a Connect, go here, go to Netflix,
That was
or Xbox, go to Hulu, or go to Twitch. You know what I'm saying?
that was dope. That was something unique. It felt like a next generation console to me because I couldn't talk to my 360 like that. That's what felt dope. Like, I mean, not like that, but it felt good coming in after work, like Xbox turn on or Xbox,
Right.
and they'll come on being like and go here, go there, like, or Xbox
Right.
go to, let's just say Xbox go to I'm gonna just throw a game out there, go to Call of Duty Ghost, and they'll go on, like if you got a digital whatever from, they'll go right to the game. Like you could have talked to things, you could have talked to
Yeah. And also the funny part about it, right? That's ironic is that even though that was the talk of the town where people try to troll all the time, oh, this is corny, this is stupid, blah 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 blah, because obviously Sony wasn't offering it at the caliber that Microsoft was, because it was there with the PlayStation, but it was done differently. You had to buy a camera that didn't read you. But in order for you to talk to it, you have to get the microphone, connect it together with the camera, and you could tell it to go and do different things with the mic.
So you pay more money.
It wasn't built in. The mic wouldn't read you. You would have to tell it what to do. You see what I'm trying to say? With a separate mic. They copied the same thing the way they used it with the Twitch, where you could stream. when Microsoft had first announced it, then they come and announce it. They doing it in 480. Meanwhile, the Connect was doing video recording in 1080p.
Yes, yes, it
You see
was.
what I'm trying to say?
That's
At a higher quality,
facts right there. That's facts.
and the camera came with the console. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And what they do, they took it out. Okay, you could buy it separate if you want, or you could buy without it. And it took them some time because the UI was already built around the technology
Correct. Yeah.
and the specifications of the Connect. They had to reconstruct the entire engine and UI to work without it. And that's why it took some time, almost a year, until they
Yeah.
finally got it done.
That was a lot
Okay?
of hate, bro. That messed
Right.
up.
They
That
were
messed
like,
up Microsoft a lot.
oh
Uh,
no, Microsoft is not doing it because they just want you to forcefully buy a Connect. We don't need that. Yet you saw all these donkeys on PS4 buying the camera separate, buying mic separate to do Twitch video and even do porn.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Amen to that. That's facts.
you know what I mean?
Facts right there. Yeah.
So on the Xbox was garbage, even though it was 1080p and it was high tech and high quality technology, which ironically now everybody's using it. Doctors are using it to do operations.
Mm.
Apple has it, and who's the people who do Google? The ones who do Alexa? Alexa, do this. Who's those? Google, right?
Hmm.
Amazon, right?
Amazon.
They use the same technology. It's the same idea, the same technology. Difference is with a little piece of machinery you buy separate, which is their Connect, basically. Everybody has adapted the technology, yet when it was on Xbox, it was trash. See what I'm saying? So the
Because it wasn't
hypocrisy,
on
the
really
hypocrisy
PlayStation.
has come now full circle. You see what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yo, I loved when I was playing the game and Rise Son of Rome. One of the dope features in it is like I could talk to the Connect
Mm-hmm.
and I could get ready to throw the arrows or shoot the arrows.
Volley up, yeah, volley,
Like
and you would tell it, and they would throw the spears, yeah.
that
Mhm.
was dope. Like that was something unique.
And you can
And
still do it with the controller, but with the controller you have to press it, leave it pressed, wait until it got the bar filled up, and then it did it. With the Connect, once you told it, it did it automatically, instantly, and it was awesome.
yes, it
With
was.
Dead Rising 3, you can make noises to distract the zombies to go a different way, so that it could clear your path, so you can go where you needed to go.
Look at
You
that.
understand?
Yeah, but you know how it is. He bought that wasn't at the time the talk of the town was 1080p. You know,
Hmm.
they was talking about that was graphics. I remember 1080p, but it was really resolution. You understand? It
Hmm.
wasn't
It
the
was the
graphics.
clarity, not the
Yeah,
graphics stuff
not
there,
the
but the
graphics.
clarity.
But this is what we know because we've been doing this. He by me and you've been doing this for a long time. We've been in the game
Good
since
now.
around like 2013 and this Xbox community thing. And now it's a shame that we forget all Xbox. The PlayStation dudes got it so sold up. They got these Xbox dudes so washed up that they don't remember none of that shit.
No, no, no. They
They
remember.
make the
They
PlayStation.
remember,
They
but they act
block
like they have
all that out.
amnesia. They act like they have amnesia and don't remember because it doesn't work in their favor anymore. You see what I'm saying? Because
I
if they
don't
get
care. I let
exposed,
these PlayStation
if
dudes
they
have
get
it.
exposed and you really have receipts for all these donkeys, that's that stupid shit, right? And we had a whole shitload of receipts. They will all look stupid as fuck, okay? And they will have shown that they exposed themselves. You get it? And
Exactly.
that's why they act like, oh no, we don't remember that. What you talking about? Stop making shit up. You see what I'm saying? So again,
Hmm.
it is a very good thing that the Kenshiro Yoshida himself came out and said, hey, listen, hey, listen, we didn't make money on the PS4 sales this generation the way people think. We made money based on the sales of software and based on the services, which is what Phil Spencer said like 3 years ago. And
Yes.
when Phil Spencer said that, I was like, look, Phil's damaging Xbox.
Yep.
He wants to destroy the brand. He
Look
don't
at the
care about
Xbox
Xbox.
and look that guy just
Xbox
said it.
is a fucking orphan that you just hold as a door stopper. They got no exclusives. That's all they did,
Exactly.
right?
Bro, Hiva, you ain't lying,
You see
man.
what I'm
Like
saying?
Phil's been saying things for a while and they
He's
try to
been
shit
ahead of
on
the
him.
game the
Yeah,
entire fucking time.
exactly.
You see
And
what I'm saying?
Microsoft's been ahead of the game so many times that so far that Sony even is asking to get down and use their service. That's
Yeah,
letting
the
you
next
know how
generation now,
yeah,
Sony is gonna made a deal for
because time
PS5
is changing.
to
Mike,
use the Azure servers because they are too far behind with their Gaikai services because Gaikai was only done to do that streaming for games. It wasn't created.
but let's be honest,
Mhm.
they put too much into this shit. You wanna know why? Because they was going Gaiaka, Gaiaka, Gaiaka. You know what I mean? They was worried about
Dude,
Godzilla out there. And all
I
I
think
gotta say is this: Godzilla can't help y'all, man. Kratos is a fake demigod. He can't help you. At the end of the day, man, what you're not gonna get helped right now.
well, look,
Your company's
look,
a little nervous right now. They shaking in their boots because what Phil
dude.
Spencer and them got is something straight powerful. And at the end of the day, man, like I always say, Xbox is the best box. You can have all those hardware sales. Your company
Mhm,
right
mhm.
now is shaking right now, man.
Well, look. People are gonna come to the show, right, and always say, "Yeah, see, all they do is hate on PlayStation because they can't do nothing else. They
PlayStation
just they're
call
just fanboys."
saying
But
like
they don't. What
I
they don't
think like
understand is
fanboys, they try to
we
bullshit and them lies on YouTube.
we play off each other and make fun of it and try to be funny, but we're really trying to give you the message of the reality of the situation while we're trying to be funny. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because the truth of the matter is that we've been saying it from day one. Listen, you cannot compete with a company like Microsoft money wise, and they're going to readjust and do whatever they need to do, right, to fix their situation, like not having studios. That's why they went out and started buying them, right? Because they needed studios. They only had a few. Now they're doing that. They created their own gaming service, but did it better because now you don't stream it. You play it right off servers. And not only do you play it off servers, they give you the opportunity to play them, right? Day one with the exclusives, right? And you can also purchase them when you decide if you want to own it or buy it with a discount on top of that, which you can't really do on PSN Now. PSN Now is only letting you do playing off servers only with games that are PS4 games, not PS3 or PS2. You understand? So it's a big difference for the price you're paying, and there's a big difference in quality as well. And again, you know, people can say whatever they want, but Microsoft has tried to adapt and listen the entire generation to people to make the console and the experience better because they want to make their fans happy because they obviously want money, but they also care about gaming and their fans. They've shown that with FanFest, giving out so much shit for free, doing dedicated Xboxes and controllers for people that are in the industry that died, like Merck, for example, or God rest his soul, or like that
God bless
Xbox addict guy. You know what I'm saying? That was there.
Xbox
You
App.
don't see that with Sony. You don't see that with their execs. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You don't see that kind of behavior. You know, which that is something that should be looked at with mad respect
Hell yeah.
because no company is bound or supposed to do that. I know they don't have no responsibility to have to do that. They don't have to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why we say what we say because these donkeys, like I said, act like oh it's all about Sony. But what has Sony done for you this whole generation? Because they said you were going to get your games, you had to wait 3.5 years in is when you finally got your really big AAA games
Yes.
with Uncharted, right? Started with Uncharted 4 because Infamous was kind of big, but it really wasn't a big difference from the previous games. It was okay. Same thing with Killzone. It was an average game
Yeah,
at
the
best.
infamous can't compare to
You know,
Uncharted and stuff like
the Order 1886 was lackluster. It had a lot of potential. It's a good game. I really like it, but it was too much. It was too short. Number one, not enough action, and too much interactive movie style within it. In other words, too much QTE, which made the game kind of feel disconnected because it was like it wasn't what giving you what they said it was going to give you when they first showed it. The promise of it was going to be something like Gears of War, in that era of the vampires and what you call that era. from the what's that era called that takes place in the order that there is the
The
Victorian that era. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously, Until Dawn was cool, good concept, but it was an interactive movie. And then Bloodborne was just them doing a deal with From Software, capitalizing on the success of Dark Souls because it became a big thing in the E3 in the 360 era and the PS3 era. So they wanted to get a game in the Renaissance era made by those developing team From Software, paid them, and they made that game. Okay, they didn't have really anything. Like Microsoft did right from the jump. We had a racer, we had a fighter, we had a survival zombie game, we had old retro style games. You know what I'm saying? Big AAA indies. You know what I'm trying to say? Unique games like Local Psycho, shit that you ain't never seen before. You know what I'm trying to say? So we were covered. Plus the Titanfall, brand new, take on the arena based shooters, like a combat shooter like Counter Strike, but with robots and mechs and you parkour. It was unique. It was different because Microsoft also supported and helped them. We had Tomb Raider exclusive for a whole year because if it wasn't for Microsoft, the sequel would have never been even made because Square Enix said it themselves. And think all those little things like that. Them buying Gears to make sure that they can make more Gears games and the franchise wouldn't die because Epic was just concentrating on Fortnite, and you saw what Fortnite became to them. When they went out and took the responsibility of the creator of Mojang that gave to them with Minecraft because he couldn't handle it. He's like, look, I can't handle it. It's too much for me. You guys can take care of it. How much would you give me for it? And they gave him 2.8 billion, 2.3 billion dollars for it, right? All these little things that Microsoft done. The adaptive controller for people that are disabled, adding 4K player on the console when they did the first Slim model. Adding the addition of 4K audio, Dolby Atmos, adding VSync for the monitors, right? Adding the technology of 4K gaming in itself. You know what I'm trying to say? All these things they did for this generation to make gaming better and a better experience and listening to the fan base. But everybody was like, oh, no, it's trash. And yet now, this is exactly what Sony's trying to do and follow suit with this generation. With the PS5, even with the haptic feedback on the controller. They're trying to do that when that's been on the Xbox controller on the triggers since the Forza 5. You see what I'm saying? They're doing exactly everything that Microsoft did for this generation, and now everybody's trying to act like, oh, that's going to be a big deal. I can't wait to watch 4K movies on my console. I'm going to buy 4K movies now. Like it hasn't been there. You see what I'm saying? So the hypocrisy runs deep. We've seen it. We sound like broken records because we keep talking about it, but it's because it keeps coming up, and the truth of what we've been saying all along, we've been vindicated. It's there. They said it themselves from the horse's mouth. We didn't sell and made money this generation because of our console sales. It was our game sales and our services, which everybody said that it was BS when
Amen, man.
Phil said it.
Yep.
It was bullshit when Phil said it, but look at now, right? Now
Oh,
it's
it's
different.
quiet on Twitter.
Oh,
Oh, you know.
believe me, hiatus. A lot of people went on hiatus, my brother.
Oh yeah, they shut down. They shut it down. They just quiet. You understand? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But also, we're gonna touch up definitely on Sony is struggling with the PS5 production cost. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even have a cooling system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What you think about that, my brother? Because if this is
Oh,
true, but I'm gonna just give you my input right now. Like
yeah, go ahead, and
I,
I'll
I'm
go after you.
saying, like if the cost of this machine they talking about is 450 or maybe even 475, don't even have a cooling system in it yet, or however it is. I think what Microsoft showed at the VGA Awards shook them to the core on like, yo, what are we gonna do right now? What are we gonna price? And I feel like as a gamer, and I'm seeing like how Sony went down to 400 while Microsoft was 500. Like they trying to use the same strategy, and I feel like that's sad. You gotta wait till your competitor comes out and shows what they have, so you can low blow them and put your console or whatever it is, and make it seem like you the better console because you want to come out first and foremost cheaper. You got a fan base that believes anything that you say.
What happened? Who
They're
took
gonna
my shit?
jump on it. Basically, they're gonna jump on anything that y'all do.
It's all right. It's all right. You can use it here.
So it just has me puzzled that right now they are actually struggling, bro. Like talking about the cost of the PlayStation 5. So, but like I don't understand this. Is it like is it the price gonna be $450 or $475? Or you saying that's what Sony's I don't understand that. Can you explain that?
Oh, well, look, this is what's going on.
Because it caught me out here for, you know what I
This
mean?
this also coincides with the first topic we were just talking about
Yeah.
before this one, about they don't make their sales and constant or whatever. This coincides the same way because this all this information was in the same article that came out from a very reliable web gaming site. I forgot what they call Borderlands or something like that.
Hmm.
That was on there, the article that basically saying that Sony's struggling with price pointing the PS5 because it's costing them 450 per unit, meaning they're paying $450 to the manufacturer to put together the console, right? To bring it out into the market, right? Keep this in mind. Listen to me carefully for you, the viewers, as well. This is and to this point, they still haven't finalized the cooling system on the console either, because they know Microsoft's coming with some high tech technology and they're coming big. And in order for them to compete, they have to be at least within the parameters of the X or the Series X, right? Because if they don't, they're going to lose the power advantage right off the jump, right?
Yeah.
Which is not going to be a good look because the developers are going to be like, damn, but I want my game to look the best. Why would I do it here if the X can do this and the PS5 can't? I'll just do it on the X and then downscale, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the other reason why Microsoft is also buying studios, because they don't want for developers not to take advantage of the console's power. So they want to have more software to
Oh yeah, that
offer
happened this
that
year.
actually
Oh,
takes advantage of the console. Because how are you going to tell me, my dude, that they got games like Quake, right? Or what was the one that came out? Uh, what was the one that came out? Rage 2, right? And on the PS4 Pro and the X, it runs 1080p at 60 frames.
yeah. When the X is way more stronger, more
When
powerful.
the X is capable to do way more with all the overhead that it has left over, even though it has a customized Jaguar CPU. Okay? For those that want to come in here and say something stupid, like I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Because we can get tech talk if you want to talk tech talk. That's fine. Okay? The whole point of it is
I know who you're interested on there. I see it.
the, the, the whole point of it is this. They want the narrative to stop about, oh yeah, but why we didn't, we couldn't really do this on the X. Like there's a lot of the games that haven't taken advantage of the X because they don't want to alienate the PlayStation community. And that's a fucking fact. Because again, Rage 2 should not be 1080p 60 on both Pro and X. Rage 2 on the X should be at least 1800p, at least in 60 frames, at least. Because it has overhead, it has power and more memory, it has more teraflops, it has overhead. You understand what I'm saying?
But this is why I get mad sometimes when Phil Spencer says, "Oh no, I'm just want to let the developers do their thing," because you got to understand a lot of these developers, they tend to favor Sony and they try to make it the X par with the Pro. When it was when the shoe was on the other foot, they never try to make the Xbox One compared to the Pro. I mean, compared to the PlayStation 4, they never try to make the games par. They always shitted on the Xbox One, making them 900p or 720p at the end of the day. So I just don't understand why Phil needs to tell them they need to go utilize the power of the console and not really leave it up to the developer, because the developer will usually make it par with the PlayStation. And that's not
right.
Cool. That's why I said that's not cool.
Right. Yeah, and it isn't. And it isn't because us people that did the sacrifice to migrate over and to upgrade, we have the same right. And this is one of the arguments that PC guys have had for years, right? But the difference is is that PC gamers don't really support gaming the way that console gamers do. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's been proven with the data through the years. Have PC gaming support with games gotten better through the years? Absolutely, absolutely. There are a lot of more PC gamers now that actually buy and support, but most of them, for a very long time, just pirated shit. They didn't pay for anything. Okay,
Hmm.
and and console developers, dedicated on consoles, right? And console makers
Yeah.
know this. So they always give the console community the privileges first with the bigger titles, the more mainstream titles like GTA, like Red Dead. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, so the whole point of it is, right? And damn, I lost my train of thought. The whole point of it is that they made the console so the narrative of the power will go away. But they were also said we're not going to mandate for developers and force them to do what we tell them to do with the console. We're telling them and letting them know the console has the power, it has the capability of doing this, doing that, Dolby Atmos, 4K, and this is what you got to do to get it to work, and you choose what you want to do with it. And then that way they can pick whatever they want to do. And the problem is that so far, only a few people have really went in and took advantage, right?
Yep.
So Microsoft wants to cut that shit out. That's another reason why they're not doing two SKUs either. In other words, that's why they're not doing a Lockhart and a Series X. That's why they're doing one SKU. Because if they do two SKUs, then that will give an excuse of, oh, we couldn't really utilize the power of the Series X, right? Anaconda, if you will, code name, because we have to cater to the audience that bought Lockhart as well. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Did you tell him? Did you tell
That's
him?
crazy.
Hold on. Ghost, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm gonna just entertain them,
Yeah, it is.
man. I tell you this, bro.
Yeah, did you get my message?
For your guys out there, let me know down in the
As I'm
comments.
in the middle of a
What you think.
podcast, that's why I couldn't answer. I'm sorry. What's
You know
up,
what I
buddy?
mean? Y'all gotta let me know on what you think about what he about talking about and what I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm almost done, so I'll call you back in a little bit. Just give me a few.
You know, the
Okay?
struggling course
All
on
right.
PlayStation
All right,
4,
Papa.
5 with the course on their console, man, because it's deep. It's deep, guys. And PlayStation's not showing up to none of these to E3s, Gamescoms. It's been like 2 years right now. We in the second year going, and right now, they this just came up about I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, but you know how it is. It's just something to talk about, and it's good to you know me and my bro Hebot give our opinions, and they just the ponies got my boy, but I'm gonna bring him back. Yep.
I'm back. I'm back. So again, and oh, Sega Forever. Oh my God, what's up, brother? He's on. He's in the chat. Xbox all in channel.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got him right here. It says it doesn't matter. Sony fans will eat it up, and he's right.
Yeah,
Sega
yeah,
Forever, you right,
absolutely,
my brother, and I'm
absolutely,
glad you here,
absolutely.
man. Shout outs to you, my brother.
Big
Shout
shout
outs
out
to
to him.
everybody that stopped by and listened. We appreciate it. I just want to tell y'all, man, y'all need to let me and Hebot know down in these comment section on
Yeah,
how
just
you feel
talk,
about
interact. Let us know
it.
what's
And so
going
I'm
on.
gonna react. I don't, hit that
Give us
like
some
button, share
questions so
this
that we
video
can.
out there, man, because we got voices, and y'all give us the voices. You understand?
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm
Yeah,
definitely, I definitely enjoy, reading comments. Sometimes you get some guys that just straight haters, but it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's
If
all
you're
right.
gonna say something stupid, obviously we're
Yeah,
not gonna
like,
bother to give you the time of day. But if you
but
give something that's intellectual, it's a smart question, we'll be more than glad to give you our thoughts on it, right? Because that's all we
yeah,
can.
definitely, man.
You know what I
And
mean?
if you want a game, I game. I got an Xbox, so my gamer tag is Ghost Rider. He bought games too. Like a lot of people we hang around, we do play all types of different games, and we're not
Mm-hmm.
bad people, and we're not these crazy people, fanboys, and it might seem like it because our preferred console is Xbox. We do like PlayStation. Is that the reason why we do bring up PlayStation? Is because a lot of people don't bring up bad news about PlayStation. They
Yeah,
just try
yeah.
to
That's
lie about it. And what we do
you
is we
never
try to
get
put
the
it out there.
real
Exactly.
raw deal PlayStation news. No, everybody sugarcoats everything PlayStation does, but want to slander Xbox for anything, even because it had a brick that was supposed to be to protect your console from when you had a blackout, getting a power surge and burning out your circuit in your console. Now it's built in. Now we who knows what could happen. So far it was built where it wouldn't mess it up, but we don't know, right? But just to give you an example how stupid and extreme some of these dumb arguments have gone to. You know what I mean? Um, but what I was talking about before I cut off real quick because I got in a call. Um,
You were talking about. I know we talking about the price with the PlayStation 5, the cost
right. But basically, what the problem is with the prices,
and the
because
cooling.
I didn't even get to my point. I was trying to get to my point, and I know I was long-winded. I'm sorry, but it's just I wanted to be clear so people can understand. They have to pay the manufacturers 450 for each PS5, right? Now, think about the other part that has to be added on to that. They have to put in there the pricing of shipping to the manufacturers and the store. I mean, from their manufacturers, right, warehouse to the stores, right? Whether it's GameStop, Walmart, Target, whatever, right? They have to pay for the shipping. They have to pay for storage space in those stores. They have to pay for the shelf space in those stores, marketing, okay? And also making sure that they have enough units that if they have faulty ones right from the beginning, they can replace them or have enough inventory to replace them, right? So, in order for them to break even, realistically speaking, they're going to have to sell the PS5 at $600. But the problem is, if they sell it at $600, it's probably going to be way less powerful, right? Or in performance than the Series X, but sell at probably the same exact price as the Series X, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay? So they're trying to figure out a way where they can undercut the Xbox Series X because they know, one, they're not going to be at the same power level, and two, in order for them to be more enticing and attractive, they have to come in at a smaller and lower price. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they know any price after 500 is touching very delicate territory. Because a lot of people are like, nah. Even though they don't realize they're getting the performance of probably of $1,800 computer for the price of like $500 or $600, which is more than half. Okay, and it's dedicated just for gaming, as opposed to you got to learn all the steps and hardware upgrades you got to do and memory upgrade just so that you can run your games on your computer, right?
Yeah.
On your PC. Okay, consoles are made for the convenience of its of its forward, straightforward format. It's just you plug and connect. It does everything for you. You just play. You download, you play, it installs, you play. That's it. That's about the the most you're gonna do. Oh, you need to update. You press update. It does it. It's done. You don't got to look for the drivers. You don't got to look for the capability of what's going to match with what because the games are done and created based off every console that's sold. So it's going to be based off the same memory, the same CPU, the same GPU, whatever's in the actual gut of the hardware in the console, right? So that's why it's different than the PC. PC is open platform. People can have better graphic cards, less memory, but a lot of memory, not so powerful graphic cards, certain types of CPUs or GPUs. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's too different. It's too open. So they can't control the PC space because of that. It's not like console because everybody's X or Series X is going to be the same thing. Yours, mine, my son's, they're going to be the same exact hardware architecture.
Yeah.
So
So it's
that's
like an even playing field.
yeah, it's not going to change. So that's why they're able to get more into the grind and the metal of consoles because it's the same hardware all the time they develop for. On
Yeah.
PC, it's always different because everybody has
Has different
different
rigs.
setups,
Yeah, different
man, different setups,
different
different rigs.
power,
So they got
everything.
to try to make enough variations for all types of rigs and different formats so that it would run correctly. And that's why you get games like Batman or even Quantum that didn't really work well on PC. And then they think, oh, it's because they didn't care. No, not because they didn't care, because it's more cost efficient. And if
Mm.
the games are gonna sell there, and they're not gonna really make money there, why bother to do the work if it's not gonna sell? It's a loss of money. Entiende? That's why you see people like Rockstar. They take forever to bring out their games on PC for the main reason that they just make sure they capitalize on the console sales first, and then they'll take the time to optimize for PC and then bring it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can make their money and not get a loss, and it works for them, right? Because you've seen the success they had all this time. It works for them. So anyway, that's the reason that that article came out, because now they have the dilemma, which also proves that that's why they're not going to E3. That's why they haven't made more announcements of other studios that they bought, because they bought Insomniac because of the success of Spider-Man, because they want to keep
29 million, bruh.
yeah for 229 million, which
A lot of
is
money.
less than Microsoft paid for Rare 20 years ago. That's how little bit of money they gave them. Because you can't tell me Microsoft couldn't offer Insomniac and Ted Price 500, $800 million, or even $1 billion easily to buy them. Very easily they could have
Hey,
done
I
it.
got like three questions right here. Jay Dizzle, shout outs to you, my brother. Sony hasn't done anything innovative, innovative this entire gen.
I
PSVR
agree.
question mark FOH. He's saying get the F out of here. Also,
Yeah, I
put
agree.
weights. He put this up right now. I'm gonna put it up there. He says Jay Dizzle also said wait, so there isn't gonna be a Lockhart. I did hear rumors of a Lockhart. A lot of rumors of a Lockhart. So I'm not. I don't have nothing really to say about that because I'm not. I don't have
But wait,
really on that. I heard there was.
for
They
for
say
what
there might be a Lockhart really coming out.
for
So
right for right now, there has been no confirmation
all
of a
that
Lockhart.
Series X.
They kind of they kind of shut it down, and the reason why I think they shut it down is because of what I told you. Because then that will give a excuse for developers to say and use the narrative that they don't have to really, they can't really utilize the power of the X or Series X.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep forgetting,
Hmm.
because they have to cater to the audience that bought Lockhart. You understand what I'm saying? They haven't even announced an all digital console either. Because if it's going to be all digital, it'll be an all digital Series X. That's what it's going to be. Same power, just digital. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to cut down, because right now with the Xbox One X, a lot of developers have been shiesty. They felt, look, perfect example. Tekken on the PS4 Pro is, I think, 2K in 60 frames, right? Or 1080p, right? On the Xbox One X, my dude, is 720p.
What?
Yeah,
That's
Tekken.
crazy, bro.
How you gonna tell me
A stronger
that?
system got wow.
Yeah, how you gonna tell me? How you gonna tell me that on the X is 720 and on the Pro is 1080p?
That's crazy. That's what
Want
you
to
see
bite that
where
line?
you already know. You already know where
¿No
the
entiende? So the point of it is right there. It speaks for itself, my dude. Okay,
yo
speaks for itself.
Rangy Four. Shout outs to you, my brother. Thanks for
What's
stopping
up,
by.
Rain? What's
Showing
going
some
on,
love,
big
bro.
bro? Yeah, Rain
You
always
got,
gives
man,
his
you
love.
got a troll right now trying to get at you. I don't know if
Yeah,
you're
what's up?
watching on the comment section.
No, what's
So
up?
before I get into the troll, I'm gonna say another shout out to my boy. Y'all need to subscribe to him, man. You know what I mean? All in channel. You know that's why Microsoft is buying so many studios.
That's right, all in.
That's
That's right. That's right.
all in. Ain't he?
Absolutely.
Ain't he this guy again? I forgot his handle again. It's uh what's his YouTube channel?
Cool.
All in.
Oh, Xbox All In. Well, he was formerly known Xbox All In. That's Sega Forever, brother.
Yeah,
That's our
Sega
brother.
Forever. Y'all need
Yeah,
to go
that's our
out there
brother.
and subscribe to Sega Forever, bro, because he's really a gamer. He's really out there. He's very passionate. Y'all need to stop by and watch his YouTube channel and check him out, guys, man. You know what I mean? Those are real gamers. These are
Right,
guys that
right.
are not lying to y'all, taking your money. These are really guys that's passionate on video games. Also, man, we do got
Look,
this guy on here.
the Suspicious Maximus. Look,
I got you right now. He put something
my
up.
my my quote and price of what I'm saying as the rigs, because you're talking about the specs they're talking about is like 2700, right? It's based on what they're saying so far. They haven't fully announced everything that's in it, so I can't attest to the real pricing compared to a PC. But remember that for console, everything's custom. So they do whatever they can do on a PC, customize it for consoles. Okay?
Break it
So
down.
it's not the same, it's not the same playing field. Okay? And it's not that I'm saying that's exactly the price. I'm giving a guesstimation based on what, you know, is being said of what they're trying to bring to the Series X. And that's not even the point. because you know you're a PC guy. I know you're a PC guy. I didn't forget you. We've had plenty of conversations all the time on Twitter.
Is he
You're
a
a
troll?
PC dude.
He's a
Okay?
troll, right?
No, he's not a choice. He's a
Oh, he's
PC
not a
guy.
troll.
But
Oh,
this is not about PC. This is not about PC. My
man,
conversation here is
shout out to him,
explaining.
then, man. I
Yeah,
thought
shout
he
out
was
to him.
a troll.
Exactly.
That's why I ain't say nothing, man.
No, he's not a
Shout out,
troll. He's not a
Maximus.
troll.
Shout
He's
out
just a
to you, my
PC guy.
brother.
He's a PC guy.
God
He's not.
bless you, bro. I ain't got nothing wrong with PC, bro. I just
But
don't like some of the ridicules out there.
but he's very PC centric, and that's fine. I told there's no problem with that. But because that's not the conversation we're having here. The conversation we're having here is how the Xbox Series X, the developers are not going to use it correctly, right? If they give more than one SKU out, right? You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna do it unless they like if they have two SKUs, one that's less powered, then they'll use the excuse, oh, we can't really utilize the X at its full potential, the Series X, because you have an audience that's on Lockhart. And if it's cheaper, more people will more than likely be on Lockhart. Okay, that's the point.
Oh, I lost Hebot. Well, I lost Hebot, my brother. I'm gonna wait till he jump back in. But Maximus, man, I do got a question for you. Can you do 4K on PC? Question marks by my man All In channel. And also, bro, I was gonna tell you, man, if you can answer that man All In channel, because he just asked you, can you do 4K on PC?
Not for the price of the X. Absolutely not. No,
he's talking to the guy Maximus.
For the price of the X, no way, no how. You can't do 4K 60 on PC for no $300. Are you fucking retarded? No.
Yeah.
And Phineas Maximus knows that. He's not stupid. Yeah,
Maximus.
He knows that.
Ask Maximus that not for nothing, but the Xbox Series X right now is stronger than a lot of PCs. So when the Xbox Series X come out, it's going to be stronger than a lot of PCs out there because remember.
Yeah, because it's based off the data. A lot of people play on PC, but a lot of people don't necessarily play on PC at the highest quality.
Nobody,
right.
It's not a lot of
at the highest quality.
That,
so Phineas Maximus is probably a person that plays at highest quality on his PC. Maybe he does, yeah, but not the regular players or average casual PC players. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, you know what I'm trying to say?
He did say he do 1440p at 165 HD.
Yeah, but the frame rate that you're doing, you don't see it. It's their eye can't read that. And then when you feel it, sometimes it feels way too fast. It depends what you're playing. It doesn't work for every game. You can work for a shooter, maybe. Yes, he knows that.
Like Maximus misunderstood me. I don't know if he's talking to me. He said, "And where are you getting the info that it's going to be stronger than PC, bruh?" If you notice, certain consoles, the
data. It came out. The data was put out by the PC magazine, saying that most people don't even play higher than 1080p and 720.
Exactly.
That's not us. We're not saying that. It was put out by the data.
Right now, the X, you cannot build. You yourself cannot build a PC like the X
for that price. Absolutely, no, you're not.
For $500, you cannot.
We could play Forza. We could play Forza.
You can do that with a Blu-ray, then you the fucking man.
And not only that, with an interchanging cooler system, right? Which is very expensive to put it on PC. And then a 4K player is also expensive to put on a PC. He knows that.
The Sony really stuck, man, with that
the same way. Look, we could play Gears of War 5 right now, 4K and 60 frames, right? We could play games like the basketball, 4K 60 frames, wrestling, 4K 60 frames. We could play Forza 7, 4K 60 frames. You understand what I'm saying? We can play games in 4K with a good frame rate that is sufficient enough to have smooth gameplay without the expense of buying a PC and building one for the price that you need to. And that's something that can't be argued. But this is not about PC.
Because
I don't understand.
PC, it cuts off on you. Like you could be somewhere and you got to back out. When I used to play Skyrim on PC, bro, and I would be playing, I'm having fun. And there's a lot of things you can do with the mods.
My God, Darius, can you look up?
Turn off on you.
Can you look up where they put the data information about the PC so I can send the link and put it in the thing? But this guy's trying to argue with me, saying that I'm lying. please. Anyway, listen. The point of it is, this podcast says something about PlayStation, about what's going
Yeah,
on. You're a PC guy. You're coming in here in defense of your PC, acting like it's a PC, when I really think is because you're a PlayStation fan yourself, and you're really butthurt
what
about what
up,
we're
K
saying with
Mega?
PlayStation.
K Mega
That don't make no
405 just
sense.
dropped by. What's up, bro? We over here, talking with a PC dude.
Yeah,
But
don't
at the
make
end
no
of the
sense.
day, what I'm trying to
We're
say
talking
is
about
this: the
PC.
dude
This
says
is
the
what.
Blu-ray is cheaper, but look, how long the X been out for? A couple of years. Of course, certain prices.
Dude, the X right now,
Yeah,
in the X right
like,
now in GameStop is $299 right now. Right now in
that's
GameStop
what
is
I'm
two
saying.
ninety nine.
Like, you not building a rig. You not built.
Yeah,
When the
you're
X
not building a
dropped,
ring.
there was mad PC dudes trying. You cannot build a rig
Yeah.
with Blu-ray and all this and the 4K thing and all that for $500.
These guys did a video trying to build one on the very first day that it came out,
That's
and they
what I'm
couldn't
trying to
do it.
say. If you're a PC dude, respect that. I understand PC is strong. Not everybody in the world got
But okay, this is
guys.
console
And this
This
is
is
conversation. This is
but
conversation.
Ghost. This is console conversation.
Yes, exactly. That's what
It shouldn't bother him as a PC guy.
unless he's a
This
pony.
is
That's what I'm saying.
console.
Like if we hurt
This
your
is
feelings, I'm
console
sorry.
conversation. This has nothing to do with PC. So again, why are you here arguing about Xbox when you're on PC? If your PC is so great and so powerful and you don't need nothing else, then this conversation that we're having here.
Oh, they got my boy Ebot. This conversation we have it here. But yo, Riz, I can't take Xbox guys serious. I definitely can't take them because they so far from Sony's ass. And y'all don't see nothing that Sony's doing wrong. That's the problem. Why I don't like Sony people and Sony YouTubers out there. Not that I hate them or nothing like that. Is that they be lying out there. At
In
the
a
end of the day.
console, you know what I'm saying? In a console community,
And I ain't the one for that.
you
Man.
can't take Xbox guys.
Like,
Please,
I'll
please
just sit back
elaborate.
and
Wait,
take them
wait.
out.
Please elaborate on you can't take Xbox guys seriously. What do you mean by that?
Exactly. I ain't got nothing to lie.
I
I'm
would
saying
I would
feel,
love to
my
know
opinion and all that.
what does that comment even mean? That we can't take seriously when everything we're talking about is about what came out in articles today by real official sites stating these things. So please tell me, because me and Ghost didn't make this up. We didn't make up the articles. It's out there. You look it up, you Google it, you're gonna see it. It's gonna be dated today. You're gonna find it. So how are we not to be taken seriously?
Exactly. Like this is what I don't understand. But if I'm lying, if I was to say, yo, the PlayStation 4, man, yo, I threw it on the Pro, man, and guess what? I woke up the next day and I was flying. I hung
Right.
in the air and I said, Kratos and all that, and I landed.
Right.
I mean, they would go crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, if you get emotional on how Ghost speaks or Heba speaks or any of my Xbox community friends like K
Mhm.
Mega, 100, you got my boys Flip, you got Collab, you
Mhm.
got J Lo, how we speak.
E-Rock, Xbox All In. Yeah, all of us. Right.
We always
Mhm.
speak, we try to speak.
Sega man. Yeah.
Try to tell you how
We
it is. If you
we're
come to my
speaking from the
channel,
knowledge of gaming
like I
and
said
console.
in the beginning, if you go back, like I said, when I do my videos, there's so much bullshit that's going on with PlayStation right now, not showing up
Yeah.
at events, people getting demoted, people getting fired, closing down
Mhm.
studios. Ain't nobody talking about that.
Dude,
Well,
at
my
this point,
podcast with
Ghost, at this
my
point, it
boys,
feels like,
the
at
facts.
this point, at
We ain't
this,
no play X. I'm sorry, but we ain't no Xbox dudes. They fake when we Sony dudes, making believe we Xbox dudes.
exactly, Ghost,
Kissing
at this
Sony's
point,
ass. I'm not doing that,
dude,
bro.
at
I'm
this
not doing
point,
that.
at this
Sorry
point,
about that.
at this point, it feels like Yoshida demoted himself down so that he could put the blame on Jim Ryan if everything goes to shit. So he don't have to get the blame for it. That's what it looked like, to be honest with you.
Word, bro.
Okay, that's what it looked like to me. Because
Xbox.
why would he? Oh, I went to the indie division. Why would you do that if you were in the head of the of Sony division? Why would you do that? You see what I'm saying?
All
Why?
I'm saying is, man, subscribe to the real niggas. Subscribe to all of us. He bought
And if we can't be taken seriously, it's like,
yeah,
how
exactly.
we not?
Like,
If we can't be taken seriously, last time I looked, we play on consoles. We play on Nintendo Switch right now. I got one
exactly,
thing.
nigga, I got a PlayStation, bro.
I'm playing on
Like,
the PS4. I'm playing on the Xbox. Like, okay, like, and we even play on PC to certain extent.
yeah,
So
I
how are we the ones that we can't take it serious when you're only dedicated to one platform? You either play on PlayStation or you're only playing on PC. So how are we not to be taken serious? We're not the
that's
ones.
what I'm saying, bro.
We can play anywhere we want. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, you know what's crazy, man? I like this, man. All in said like this. You know what I can't take serious? That Sony, an entertainment company, doesn't have a PS that plays 4K Blu-rays. Wow, that is crazy.
No, that's only one factor. He's 100% right. But then they don't have no games that play at 4K in 60 frames.
Extremes D. Shout outs to you, bro. You somebody new to the channel that I see, man. All I gotta say is this: why are you here if you can't take Xbox guys seriously? Exactly, my brother.
Yeah, that's my point. That's what I'm
Hey,
asking. It's just like this. It's just like this. Look,
Ring. Shout out to you, bro. Riz laughing.
it's just like this. It's just like this. Why is it that on a PlayStation 4 you still can't change your goddamn gamer tag without losing your shit?
Exactly.
Why is it that on the PlayStation 4 they still don't have dedicated servers for their online structure?
Man.
Why is it that on PlayStation 4 you don't have Dolby Atmos? Why is it that on PlayStation 4 you don't have an adaptive controller so disabled people can play the PS4 as well?
Exactly.
Come on now. You want to talk nonsense? We can bring up the nonsense and we'll cut it and we'll shut it down real quick. It's fine.
Yo, Bot, don't worry, man. You know what they want?
So,
these ponies, man, they want to go to these big channels where these lying ass
that's
Sony
fine.
be lying to them, bro.
You want to go to channels that only tout Tony with false information?
This is us. And this is how I tell these ponies out there, man. You hear that, Biz?
That shit looks nice. Yeah,
Bruh,
yeah.
That's how I feel. I'm the ghost with the most, man. I just don't like when the ponies be lying. And
right.
Us guys out there and these Xbox people that didn't fall back and
look. If you've been listening to the podcast since we started, right? Since you've been listening, if they've been listening to the podcast since we started, they would see that we haven't said nothing offensive or nothing stupid. We're talking with knowledge and care about what's going on. Okay. The point is to finish the topic so we can get to the last topic that we had.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The PS5 is having financial problems building PlayStation's having financial problems building PS5 to make sure that they can bring it out at a competitive price with parts that are competitive enough to compete with the Series X. That is the point. And they are in a bind and they're in a messed up situation in which they possibly going to have to cheap out on parts to bring it out at a cost that people could afford and be competitive, which is going to mean that it could be a dangerous price for them because if they didn't even finalize the cooling system, imagine that shit runs high with all that high power they're going to have in there and they start to burn out on people.
It's going to be like the PlayStation 4, nigga.
Or if they had the issue, if they had the red ring of death issue, they don't got the kind of money that Microsoft had to put $1 billion or $2 billion to fix that. They're not going to have that kind of money.
Right. They had the blue ring of death early in this.
No, they had remember they had the yellow ring. No, they had the yellow rings of death with the Final Fantasy on PS3. Remember, and it was giving them problems. So
engine.
Anyway, I think it's time for us to go to. I think it's time for us to go to the other topic.
Definitely.
That was the point of what we were saying, and it's good that this came out because people are swearing up and down that Sony has the money to make a console way better than Xbox, and that they're going to destroy the Series X, and that it's going to be even more powerful, more faster. And this just proves that that's not the case. They're waiting for Xbox to announce their price, Microsoft rather, so that they can figure out a price to make it look like they're undercutting Microsoft, to make it look like they're giving you a better deal when the console's really going to be underwhelming in comparison to the Series X. That's really what they're waiting to do. So next topic. Eva.
Next topic, bro. I'm about to bring it up. But
hey, Kima, how are you?
Yeah, Kima said, true Xbox fan gamers read and research. That's why we'll always be in the right.
In the right, absolutely.
My brother. And yo, Riz Biz, I see your comment. I do see your comment. I'm going to read that too. He did say, what do we think about before we get into that? Riz Biz, I'm going to answer that what you just put down there.
Go ahead. What do you have?
At the end of this, though. Let's do this topic first, and then we answer that.
For sure.
For sure. Phil Spencer confirms that he's getting bold with the Xbox Series X. Also confirms that he's cringing when he sees Japanese games not coming to Xbox. Boom! Yeah. We also said that a long time ago.
Yeah.
when we was with
Yeah.
the Rectex, we said this, we said this a long time ago about Japanese games, about
Mm-hmm.
these games. And Phil has said it before to us, and Mr. Wolf went crazy on him. Remember that? And
Yeah, yeah.
behind the scenes, we knew about this. That's why he
Right.
got attacked by J Lo and Collad and a lot of us. And between us, stuff went wrong with Mr. Wolf. Like I leave
Yeah,
it
yeah.
right there. I don't even want to get
Right,
into
right,
it.
right, right.
But
No,
I'm gonna say
we
this
don't
about
throw
the
shades like
Japanese
little
game.
girls. We ain't
Yeah,
bitches over
we
here.
ain't bitches over here. What I'm gonna say is
Exactly.
this: I wish that man the best, and what I
That's
mean.
right.
I never hate on somebody. Wish that man the
That's
best.
right.
But I tell you this: them Japanese games. Look, Phil Spencer's even telling you, bruh.
What are
He
they doing?
cringes when they
They're
go to
upgrading the
another
graphics?
platform and they skip over Microsoft is because I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say it like that, but it is what it is. They putting that
Well,
on.
look.
They Japanese, bro. They
Let me
putting
know.
the games on the
Say,
PlayStation.
let me
It's
know what your
Japanese,
thoughts
bro.
are, and then I'll tell you what I gotta
That's
say.
just my honest opinion. I just feel like it's shady when these company guys you got consoles like Nintendo and PlayStation, they Japanese consoles, and they get these Japanese games, but they skip the
Hmm.
American console. Now, if these
Yeah.
American developers was to give it the games to the American console and skip the Japanese, they racist. They'll say, "Oh my God, they hating on Sony. Sony ain't getting
Hmm.
these American quality games." You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
So I feel like, excuse me, guys. I feel like that's wrong. And look, Phil Spencer even in short words is telling you like he cringes when that happened because
Right.
Xbox you can make money off of that. You still can get sales to those developers, but it
Right.
shows that what they did. Shout outs to you, J
Let me
Long.
see the graphic up here again.
You're not doing it no more, and you know what I mean. You stood out for a while. You probably waiting to
Hmm.
next generation. But I tell you this, my ex body and bro, it is you was always right about these Japanese handouts, and you seen if
Hmm.
Phil letting them know that these handouts is wrong when they go to PlayStation or Nintendo and skip Xbox. That is
Well,
crazy.
look.
We was right about that, but we still
Hmm.
get proud of that. Go ahead, he about to tear
Hmm.
the new asshole.
Well, look. Shout outs to Phil Spencer because he did a
Yep,
really
shout
nice
out to Phil, bro.
small interview with a podcast that I didn't even know existed with this guy named Paris and something Pena, Jose Pena or something like that. They're called the Gamer Tag Podcast. Go check it out. I'm not trying to plug their channel. It's just it was a good interview. They were lucky enough to get him on, and they're gamers, right? So go check it out. It's a nice interview, short but sweet. And basically, in the interview, he was talking about how he that the whole decision of showing the Series X in the Game Award was brought up by one of the workers in marketing, a girl, a young lady actually, as a matter of fact, and she said we need to go bold if we want to try to capitalize and because let's face it, this generation we haven't been able to get on top with our marketing, right? Then we need to start by going bold for next gen, meaning taking chances, doing unorthodox things, unprecedented things that they've never really done before, like the approach that they never really done before, which is could be doing more types of games a certain way, maybe announcing things at venues and places that you wouldn't expect, uh, doing things that we didn't think they were going to do, like old retro style games, bringing them back, like new properties, things like that. He said we're definitely not going to be meek, but we're going to be bold. That's basically what he said in short words. And if you don't believe me, you could go see it. The proof is in the podcast. And he also stated that when he sees a lot of games, even though he's trying to establish that relationship with Japan specifically, with a lot of games, that even though a lot of them are starting to come more over to Xbox, that he still cringes every time when one doesn't make it. Like Neo, for example, or like a Street Fighter Special Edition, right? Whatever. Um, it's because he says that there's certain things that deserve to be in the console for the fans that just don't make it. So we gotta you gotta understand, if we go look back on the 360 era, right? When the 360 took dominance of the market in the US because it's the biggest market out there compared to Canada, next to Canada, right, and the UK, it was the highest selling console, right, of that generation, right? It was dominating the entire generation, right? So those developers, specifically a lot of the Japanese developers, right? They had no choice. They had no choice but to put their new games, new ideas, and their IPs on the 360. Because if they didn't do that, they weren't going to have nowhere else to put it because the PS2 was phasing out, right? And the PS3 started off with a really tough and difficult launch because of pricing, because of features, and because of the cell processor. It was too hard to develop for it. There wasn't enough memory, right? So they couldn't sacrifice developing for the PS3, being that the PS3 didn't have the higher install base, but the 360 did. So what did they do? They went on 360 and they put their games there. But if you guys remember and you notice, slowly as the generation went on, when the PS3 dropped the price, they reconstructed it, they added more stuff to it, and made it more sleeker and slimmer and more affordable. That's when the sales started to pick up, particularly when they did the 299 God of War bundle. That's when you saw it start to pick up in sales, where it came to the point where it caught up to 360, but that was because it was selling at diminished returns, number one, and it was selling after the fact when the generation was almost over, because people were interested in going back to the PS3 and play games like God of War or play Last of Us because it was getting all the buzz and the Uncharted series, right? Which makes sense, right? So that is why they end up having the same type of numbers like 360. Because a lot of them are going to be like, oh yeah, crazy. The PS3 still sold more. Yeah, after the fact, when it was already dying out and they had no profits from those sales because they had to cut the price. They lost billions, like $4 or $5 billion on each PS3 for that whole generation. And it's out there. It's public record. Okay. So you can go check it out yourself. So when they started to sell more consoles, they started to do the same bullshit. A lot of these developers started putting games on PS3 that never made it to the Xbox. And I'll give you an example. Odin's Fury Remastered never made it to the Xbox 360. Dragon's Crown never made it to the Xbox 360. Small games from Atlas, right, that were later bought by Sega. Okay, and that's why they were called Sega Atlas. Games like that make it to certain DLCs, like the Batman Joker DLC, never made it to Xbox. The Inferno DLC from Alone in the Dark never made it to the Xbox 360. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to argue, and I'm going to argue with you with the facts because I know, because I paid attention, I was there. Maybe you didn't pay attention, but I did. Okay, because this is my hobby and I respect it and I love it, I adore it. Okay, so just to put it in perspective, they started doing that shady shit right at the end or in the middle, towards the end, when the PlayStation started capitalizing on sales. Metal Gear Solid, it was exclusive for Part 4, right? Sons of the Patriot, right? I think it was called. That was exclusive to the PS3. That didn't come out. Konami didn't put it on the Xbox One. 360. You see what I'm saying? Because they played favoritism to their console of choice, which is the Japanese console, which is either a Nintendo or a PlayStation. That's just how the Japanese mentality and society and culture is. They're nationalistic. They stick by each other and stick with each other's guns. Okay, that's how they are. The only time they embrace the American companies, right, is when they can make money out of it, or when they have no choice. Not thinking back as far back as the release of the Nintendo in America, which was the Famicom in Japan. That the reason why gaming was saved was because of Nintendo and the American goddamn audience and the American people buying the console, embracing it, and making it the most successful console of all time at that era, at that time and place. Okay, so what? So what?
You know?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying that, when we embraced Nintendo and all that back in the days when I was growing up, it was something that, as a gamer, for every gamer out there, it was something unique. And when it
was exciting. It was brand new. Yeah, it was bringing
growing up. You know what I mean? So it's like as we grow up, our kids get to play these type of games, and man, just put it this way, man, it's like a way of life. Like to me, growing up,
it definitely is always a life.
Something experience in my lifetime that I experienced, and I'm a grown man, and I still play video games. I still find
right. It's an escape.
Play my hobby.
It's an escape. It's a fun hobby. It's something to keep you away from all the cruelty and problems of the world. It's a venture to make you have fun. That's the whole point of it. So again, if it wasn't for the American community, the American people that embraced the NES, the gaming industry would have never succeeded. Those Japanese consoles and developers that were making those games like Final Fantasy and the Fantasy Stars and all those games from that era would have never had success if it wasn't for the American people buying them in droves, in millions and thousands, to make them money, to make gaming the most highest grossing form of entertainment in history. It's even bigger than movies at this point.
Tell you, yeah.
Okay, so
Gaming
the the, the bottom line is, it was good that Phil said this, because this just proves what we said before. Because we know people that know Phil personally that have said, in not in straight face, but in short words, that he can't force developers to put games on the Xbox console if they don't want to put it there.
Yep.
And he said
Amen
that
to
to
Fact.
people, to someone
Fact.
that was very
I'm
credible,
telling you, fact.
that told Wolf, that told us, and he
I
was a
was
credible
there.
person.
Facts.
We're not going to mention who it is, but he was a credible person, and this is what Phil told them. Okay, in
Fact.
short
I'm
words,
telling you,
we
fact.
cannot force developers to put games on our console if they don't want to. As much as we want them to,
You know
we
what's
can't.
crazy? Fuck.
Mhm.
Excuse my French. F the insiders. F this. Yo, that person. Now we heard it from the horse's mouth, the head. We don't need no insider. We don't need this. You understand? Like,
Mhm.
who about the Xbox X being stronger than the Pro?
Right.
That's why I like Microsoft, because they talk to us. They explain certain things to certain people, and you being around certain people, sometimes you get to meet people. You know what I mean? And you get to talk to certain people. And that's great about the Xbox community. We show love to each other like that. But for you
Mhm.
always
Mhm.
out there, your Sony haters and your Twitter fanboys to be hating on people making videos about people, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you know the X is going to be stronger. Yo, bro, I was right. So I can make exposed videos on those people too. But anyway,
Mhm.
all I got to say is this. Thank you for dropping by, guys. And I just want to say this. Which 4K TV you guys recommends?
Yeah, that's Rain. Rain.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
Samsung by Rain. I ain't gonna
Rain. Hit me up on Xbox or hit me up on Twitter, because there's a lot of details that go into it, and Ghost could tell you, because I told him
yeah,
the same thing when he bought his TV. I know about TVs. A lot
yeah,
of people don't know that. A lot of people think that it's only D on Twitter that knows about TVs. He's not the only one. I know about TVs.
yes, he
I'm
does.
very, I'm telling you, I can get recommend you the best TV for the best price
Samsung's a
and the
monster.
best picture quality.
I
Just
love
hit me
LG.
up on Xbox, on Twitter, DM me. I'll go get my gamer tag. Hit me up, and we could talk on a party chat or something, and I'll give you some insight and help you out.
I want to tell you like this. He about that. I love
Mhm.
LGs though. The
Oh yeah,
Samsung
yeah. Oh,
monster, but I
they're
love
good.
the
They're good TVs. They're not bad TVs. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I love them. I love LG,
yeah, yeah.
and Samsung is a monster. And I
Yeah,
tell you,
they make good TVs too. It all
whichever
depends
way,
on what you really want,
yeah,
though. You know what I mean?
OLED LGs.
Hmm.
You got the OLED ones for the LGs, and you do got the Samsung with the QLED. So whichever way you go, bro, both TVs are fire. At the end of
Hmm.
the day, they dope. They way better than them whack 4K TVs that they got out there. OLED's the way to go on QLEDs, bro. And you know what I mean. At the end of the day, I hope you enjoy your TVs,
Well,
regardless of what you have out there.
but
You
there's
know
a
what I
lot of
mean?
misconception about
No, no,
4K
no.
TVs
I don't mean to say it like that.
from certain companies
Yeah,
too.
certain
That's
companies
why I
they
told
do.
them
I can't
that
say.
I have to go in real deep detail
Yeah,
with you,
you know your
so you
TVs.
can really understand what you need to be looking for in order to get the best bang for your buck. Is basically what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I'll be
definitely.
more than glad to help you, Rain. That's not a problem. Now, real quick, what I wanted to add to before we get out of here, that also the good thing about that is, for example, you see how Yakuza, right, is coming to Game Pass, but Yakuza's been on PlayStation since the PS2. We're talking about almost 20 years, and the franchise is finally coming to Xbox, and it's only the first two games when there's six of them,
That should
or
let
the
you
first
know.
three games, and there's six of them. You see what I'm trying to say?
You can't say
Games
it's
like
failed.
Fist of the North Star, games like Persona 5, games like Berserk, games like Neo. None of those games are owned or published by Sony. None of them. As a matter of fact, Sony only published Neo in America because they saw the success it was having after they put out the demo. When they put out that demo for 3 months before the game came out, and then they made a deal to publish it in America because in Japan they didn't even publish it. It was Tecmo who published it. And then after they saw the success from and the reception with the demo, that's when they decided to do the deal for America with Tecmo and published it for Tecmo here in America because they were the leading platform. Okay? So all those games, they belong on any console. That's the bottom line. PC, Xbox, even Switch, for Christ's sakes, if they can put it on there. Because they are owned and published by their own publishers and distributors, not by Sony. That's why they called handouts. That's why J-Long and me put the term handouts, Japanese handouts.
Yes.
Because they're there because the Japs in the Japanese companies want them there, meaning the Japanese people want their games only on a Japanese console.
And it is what it is. They Japanese, so
You know?
at the end of the day, they get their hands on it. But it's not like, oh, Sony did this and Sony did that. Like these trolls and these fanboys and these YouTubers out there, this Xbox, this down with PlayStation want to make it look. We're just giving you the info on that's bullshit.
Right,
The
right.
horse's mouth. So
Right,
whoever's
right.
telling
If Phil
you
himself said
that,
it,
oh, this and
that
these
tells
other
you.
guys, the YouTubers, they frauds, nigga.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
they
If Phil,
not telling the truth.
Ghost. If
I don't
Phil's
mean to say it
saying,
like that. But
if
it's
Phil's
true.
saying I cringe, right, and Phil's saying it hurts me to see that, right? That lets you know that no matter what he's tried to do, he's not always going to be able to succeed with getting those games on Xbox, which tells you that it's not a money issue, it's not a distributing
Exactly, bro.
issue,
Just gotta read
it's
between the
a
lines.
personal issue with developers. They don't want it, they can't be forced to put it on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, there's
And
nothing else to be said. Bottom line, you could read between the lines. All of us here are adults. Nobody's here is dumb. Nobody's a little kid or ignorant. Okay, so that's all we're saying. So it's good that he came out and said it because it also closes a lot of doors of skepticism and of people assuming, oh, they don't want to build relationship with these companies. That's why they don't want to put it on the Xbox. Really? So why a game like Gauntlet, that's American, really?
yeah,
It's not on Xbox, but it's on PlayStation. Why is a game like Austin Breed not on Xbox, but it's on the Switch, right?
yep.
And it's on PS4. Why is Arc System Work games like Blaze, what's it called, Guilty Gear, not on Xbox? Why is Arc System Works games like Double Dragon that they bought the license, River City Ransom, only through the archives on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch, but not on Xbox? Why is Johnny Turbo Arcades only on Switch and PlayStation, but not on Xbox? You see what I'm trying to say? And why is it that all those games are there? Because Johnny Turbo is owned by Data East. Data East was formerly known as Data East, and that's a Japanese company. So Arc System Works, Japanese. If you look at the developers, they're all Japanese. So
Damn,
what are you? What can you
straight
assume?
facts, man.
What can you assume by that? That is because they're Japanese. They only want it on Japanese consoles. There's no other explanation because you can release it digitally on Xbox and you're going to make all the money you can and not lose anything because you're not going to pay for distribution of the physical copy, of the box, of the artwork, of putting it on the store shelves, of putting it on the paying for shelf space in the store. You're not paying for nothing. You're just putting it on the console, on the Xbox digitally. You make the price point. Microsoft lets you give the price point, and then they give you a certain percent. You share a certain percent with Microsoft after you get a sale. That's it. That's it. That's all you're doing. So there's no excuses for none of these guys to have those games digitally on Xbox, like they did with Nier. Nier Automata came over and did fantastic. Why? Because it was only digital, and they still to this day haven't made a physical.
A lot of the
and
games,
yet there's a physical on the
did come
PS4.
over the place. Did come over the Xbox, but late. Look at this. We already going in the next gen. Sony
Yeah.
sealed that up. That was their
Yeah.
secret little sauce on the side.
That's what helped them.
Yes,
That's what
they
helped
caught
them because
Xbox
people are like,
is in a
oh,
drought. They was in a
but we-
drought too. If you really do the math, I don't mean to cut you off. If it wasn't for the Japanese games, these PlayStation dudes was in the same drought like us. Cause they went in a drought in the beginning, and then
Right.
we went in a drought, and then when we started getting the little games, they got their games, and then they went kind of in a drought again. Like if you really notice, it was like droughts in between.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like I'm saying, Bot, at the end of the day, I feel we had a great show today, and thank you guys for stopping by. And I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But as always, I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry, but I just like to be informative and
No,
detailed about what we say.
man, at least you detailed and you spitting what you saying, and what we saying is the truth. And sometimes I know the truth hurts, and we kind of get under people's skin, and they want to get a little mad. And all I gotta say is, man, at the end of the day, if you can't take it, you know what I mean. It is what it is. Like we
You
not
don't
the
have to
Xbox
come here.
youth
You don't have
that
to be here either
that's
if you
gonna be
don't
like,
like it.
oh no, and put our tail between our legs. Now we're gonna stand
Hmm.
up and tell you, yo, this company's messing up. Like, yo, if y'all Sony dudes out there, YouTubers ain't talking about this, well, we gonna talk about it. You
Yeah, yeah.
understand? That's why the
Because it makes
show's
no
called Let's
sense for
Talk
us to
About
be
It.
talking about stupid shade things with Microsoft
Exactly.
when we really know what it is. Meanwhile, everybody else is doing it, and we're going to add to the fuel and the fire and the problem. No, we're going to call out the bullshit that Sony's doing because nobody else is doing it.
Exactly. That's why we a unique podcast, and everybody on my team, basically that I hang out with, we all have our own opinions.
Hmm.
Opinions is
Hmm.
like a butthole. We all have one at the end of the day. But like I'm
That's
saying,
right.
man, God bless y'all. Thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you share this video out, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Hebot. We really appreciate it. Much
Yeah,
love
yeah,
out
for
there
sure.
to the Sony dudes out there, to the all gamers out there, man. Nintendo, I got mad respect for Nintendo showing up this year, going to E3 out there. They ain't doing what Sony did, what Sony's doing with the shiciness, not showing up. You know what I mean? And I just say, as a gamer, man, it is what it is, and I'm glad you gave me a voice out here, and I can spit my opinions, and my man Heba could do the same thing.
Listen, we're here just to try to
Exactly.
do what we best can, for our audience and keep you guys informed or happy, but based on what we do and not bullshit and playing the dumb games and the bias shit and let's hate on Xbox shit and let's be, followers and mindless drones and follow Nintendo and follow only so. No, we're not doing
We
that. We're not
leaders over
doing that.
here, all of us,
We're
Hunted,
not doing that.
you bot, the whole team, the whole
We're
squad. We
not doing
leaders,
that.
we not followers, man. We try
That's
to do
not
our
being
own
that's not
thing.
being toxic.
Exactly.
That's not being the new no. Toxic is when you guys want to throw shade at one side when that's the only side that's doing for gaming, and then you want to act and praise like the other side is doing great when you can't even change your gamer tag without losing your shit, or you can't even bring over your digital games that you bought on the Wii U when it's the same fucking store on the Switch. Get out, the hell out of here! You're
Yo,
crazy.
I just want to say shout outs to Mystic 7 saying excellent show. Shout outs to Xbox All In saying
Thank
great
you,
show.
Mister.
Thank you.
Appreciate
We
that, brother.
appreciate it. Dope
Appreciate it,
show,
puppy.
fellas. Thank you, Jay Dizzle, for rocking out with us from the beginning of the show. I really appreciate it, my brother. Much love,
Right.
bro. And
To
all I got to say
everyone,
is,
to
man,
everyone.
everybody out there, and for those watching after today, you understand, we appreciate it. God bless you all. And
Word.
hope you have a
God
great
bless to
weekend.
everyone.
Be safe, man.
That's
Peace
right.
out.
And remember, listen. Don't assume. Listen
Don't
to us and
assume.
you'll get the
Listen to what we're
messages.
saying and get the message, man. Peace
Peace
out.
out, brother.